Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty, I'm not cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of it's what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated, pump sports radio. Time to get educated, Bouquett produced, play the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call the truth. They get slaughtered, can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon, cause we be, pubbing. We be pubbing!
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, May 29th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. I wonder, a few days off, family time, my mom in town. Can I get right on the diamond? There was a lot of spots that I wanted to attack on my days off, and I chose not to. I need to come back here and deliver in baseball. My whole summer depends on it. My life depends on it. I have to win starting today. So my record is ugly. But I'm not going to focus too much on it. I'm going to focus on what my record is from Wednesday, May 29th and on. If I can stack winning weeks, I'll be back in the black by the All-Star break. We are about 6 weeks away from the All-Star break. Our focus should be on delivering right here, right now, in those 6 weeks. Now, the week of leading up to the All-Star break is a week that I've been historically poor in sports across the board, week before, week after. Can I be in a spot where I'm close to the black right there on that week? That is my goal that I'm setting here and now. It is great to see all of you guys. I have missed you. I've missed the opportunity to cap with you guys each and every day. And I'm excited to be back in action. I'm refreshed and I'm ready to fire away. Great to see all of you guys. Community of new knowledge in the house. Eric Nisbet. Eric Nisbet says, poor Jimmy can't pick a winning horse in a 2-horse race. Good thing there's no horses here today. Eric Nisbet. And it's great to see you, man. Morgan Spooner, Royals money line plus 114, Dodgers -1 at -102, and Tigers Pirates game 2 under 7.5. The Skeens start for Morgan Spooner. Let me copy and paste all of Morgan Spooner's action right now. Copied and pasted. Justin McKelvey in the house. Stacks play of the day. JD Martinez over 1.5 bases at plus 118. Let's get that copied and pasted. Stacks running nice. I love to see it. Justin McKelvey, my guy, that is copied and pasted here and locked in. JP Taylor ready to go. Tori Coker says, I can't wait to talk NBA. I did, instead of taking the Timberwolves in game 1, in game 4 yesterday, I took them to plus 2.5 on the series at plus 265. So that if they won game 4, I basically have them on the money line in game 5 for a big score. So I'm pretty comfortable with my situation on that. We are going to be breaking down NBA tomorrow, but I get why you are confident in that spot. There's the nuke worker in the house. Serious business. Gerald Jones looking at Texas, Arizona under 9. Let's get that copied and pasted right there. There you go. Copied and pasted, my friend. Joey Marinaccio, the Dapper Capper, is best bet is on Yankees -1. There's Razor Sharp picks coming off a great day. I love to see it. Razor Belmont Stakes in 10 days. 10 days away from the Belmont Stakes. We're going to be doing it up big here on Pub Sports Radio. Spreadsheet Dog plus 9.17 units. Look at that. Colorado plus 135. Let's get that in. The Rock. I like that look with flexing, honestly, but I haven't moved on anything. I want to talk it all out here. Vaughn Polo ready to go. My dude off a 2-0 day. Billy Friedrich, Pig Milk play of the day is Cardinals plus 102. Cardinals on the money line. Cardinals have been hitting. And their bullpen has been good all year long, but they're starting to hit, which has been very helpful here. Lynn Belvedere, looking forward to cap the card today. We're looking forward to cap it with you. Lynn, Wine Time Sports in the house says 9-2 last 10 to get us back in the black. Love to see that. Beavis Rogers picks from Beavis. Love Uncle Beavis. Look at that. Okay, we got new cappers in the chat. I'd love to see it. Look at that. Slow Jams Arsenal ready to get to work. Slatsy 2-1 night in NHL cash. Panthers Rangers draw for the third game in a row. That's beautiful. On Stars money line at +121 says Skinner versus Ottinger every time. I can't, and we're gonna go over NHL here in a minute. I can't. I have some action that requires the Oilers here. Stuff I didn't tweet out, and I'll tell you about it. But I have a difficult time betting the Oilers at -135. With the answer the Stars gave back to the Oilers' best punch. So we'll be talking about that here shortly. Oldie top set in the house, 7-1 yesterday. I love to hear you guys rocking and cashing. Jay Smooth balls play today. Skeen 7 strikeouts. Darvish 7 strikeouts combined at 256 for Jay Smooth. Let's get that copied right underneath Billy Friedrich's Pig Milk play of the day. Copied and pasted right there. Jay Peasy ready to go. Leonard Porsche Jr. ready to go. Love to see all of you guys. My dude says, was at the Rockies game yesterday. Can we say Rockies have the worst bullpen in baseball? They've blown so many leads this year. If they had a decent bullpen like last year, they'd probably be only an 8 at the total. And TJ ready to get to work. Slow Jam says Mavs in 6. Wolves win tomorrow too. I love hearing all of that. Great to see all you guys. GH. Oh, Gate Pass Key. Look at that. Gate Pass Key back in business. I love to see it. This is exciting. Some cappers I haven't seen in a little while ready to rock and roll with us here on Wednesday, May 29th. Love it. Absolutely love it. And Ken Wood, now a gold member. $50 horse races start tomorrow. $50 horse races start tomorrow. And Ken Wood now in the races. Thank you so much. That means a ton. And Skeens Montero game 1, Jones Screwball game 2. Is that really? Wow. Did they flip him? Good God. I mean, it's still easy to cap. Okay, no, I've got Jones Screwball game 1. I've had that for a long time. Did that just change? Ron Crawford. Oh, beautiful. Look at Razor. Good for Belmont all day and all night, Razor. I love that. Slatsy says Hintz comes back. Robinson's line mate scores for his first 3 goals of the series. Yeah, Hintz look great. And we're going to get into all of that. But Ron Crawford, I have different information for the Pirates-Tigers game. Did you just hear it from a beat writer? Please let me go, Ron, because I've capped this whole thing with Jones and Screwball popping off here in an hour and 31 minutes. So yeah, all the books have Jones and Screwball game 1 listed. Jones Screwball. So I don't care what Action Network says, but did you hear that from a beat writer? Because the books are saying one thing, so I don't care what Action says. Oh, and the lineups are confirmed. You're right. I've already seen the lineups. What I'm talking about. But I thought maybe here it's Screwball Jones confirmed lineup. Okay, we have Ryan Nelson and the Arizona Diamondbacks lineup confirmed. We have we have St. Louis, Cincinnati confirmed as well. So we got lots to talk about in MLB. But let's Clark Edge. Great to see you. It's great to see all of you guys. Let's get to work, shall we? Let's get to work, and we start in the National Hockey League. The National Hockey League. I took Panthers on the -1 line last night. I wanted a little more money on the Panthers. We're going to get into today's game in a second, but I did parlay the Panthers and the Oilers for a full unit just to have a little more on the Panthers last night than the -1 line. Wine Time says 2-unit play in MLB, and it's another over. Let's get this copied and pasted here. And make sure I have that info before we get into NHL here. Thank you for sharing that with me. Wine Time, 2-unit play for Wine Time. I love it. Okay, so let's get into NHL this evening, 8:30 p.m. We have the West Final, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 for you on the West Coast. Game 4 of the series. Dallas leading the series 2-1. Dallas was a very good road team this season. There's things that Dallas does that are clearly irritating the Edmonton Oilers. And first and foremost, and you heard it right out of Evander Kane's mouth, is that the Stars were the least penalized team in the NHL this year. And they're not the Oilers aren't drawing penalties. The Oilers aren't getting on the power play as much as they would like. And that's obviously in their head. We have Ottinger versus Stuart Skinner. Skinner has been confirmed. And that, it's no surprise that Skinner has been confirmed. I know his numbers aren't very good. We'll go over all of that here. So I've got Thursday's numbers here. Let's go to today for the line history in NHL. And here we go. Right now, the Oilers are minus 134. They open up at minus 123. There's been an 11-cent move towards them. I agree that they should be a slight favorite at home. But it's tough here to trust them as this with the implied probability of this big a favorite. We're watching Dallas's confidence in Dallas taking their hardest punch. This total is sitting right now at 5.5 minus 119 to the over. This got to 6 a couple times. It opened at 6 minus 121 to the under, got to 5.5, back up 6, 5.5, back up 6, 5.5. So at this point right now, we've actually had a slight move to the under, a very, very slight move to the under. On the money line here, we talked about the minus 134 that opened up at minus 123. So why don't we take a quick look at the cash flow for this one here. They're giving us no information on the money line. They're only giving us information on the total here at Action. 84% of tickets and 83% of cash on the over. And I think it's a very tight line here. Ron Crawford says Hyman goal. That guy's always around the net. I like it a lot. I get it. Billy Frieder says the Ghosts in Edmonton will have their hands around the Oilers' neck in this one. Stars playing with house money. And razor sharp picks on the first period over 1.5 in Stars Oilers. Razor sharp picks moving on the first period over 1.5. So let's break this down. Now, I've got the Panthers Oilers parlay at plus 179, and I don't feel like I need at this number to have any more money on it unless I want to do something live. I just don't see the risk reward appropriate at minus 135, and then you'd have to take them on the minus 1 line. It's just uncomforting. Jake Ottinger, 35, 14, and 4, 2.72 goals against average, 905 save percentage, 3 shutouts. So I think it's important to keep in mind that Stuart Skinner had the exact same numbers in the regular season. So yes, Ottinger has been there and done that in the playoffs, and he has delivered. He's got a much more defensively responsible group of forwards in front of him, and a defense that is buoyed by the defensive responsibility of the Dallas Stars forwards. I mean, what we're seeing here, and this is no negativity to Chris Knobloch, who is, a rookie head coach in the NHL and in the Western Conference Finals. But Pete DeBoer is getting everything he wants from this hockey team. They're playing in his image. This is exactly what he wants. The most accountable team defensively. He wants to roll 4 lines. He doesn't want to play any forward over 20 minutes. He will play Heiskanen over 28 minutes with no concern. But this is the team that's just kind of fits his image, and it's frustrating the Oilers. Now, you could say that the Oilers going through the Kings and the Canucks probably didn't have the right competition, compared to what the Stars had to go through to get here, taking out the Knights and, of course, the Colorado Avalanche. So you could say that the Stars are, were playing against the best competition in the NHL getting here, while the Oilers were not. JW saying Edmonton soft. I kind of want to see Corey Perry back in that lineup. I think that it is important to have that mean edge to them, even if he's a little slow. In the playoffs, Ottinger's been spectacular. 2.09 goals against average, 923 save percentage, 3 shutouts. And Skinner is not. 2.76 goals against average, 885 save percentage. Skinner has not been very good. The Stars' power play and penalty killing has not been very good. If the Oilers could just get or draw more penalties, which is a difficult thing to do against a well-coached team. Oilers 33.3% power play, 92.9% penalty killing. They have a much better special teams right now than the Stars. 23.7 power play, 74.2% penalty killing. Dallas so for me, I was very confident in the Oilers in game 3. I had them first period. I had them full game. And I even put together an SGP that was first period minus a half, a full game, and a full game money line team total over 2.5. I was very, very confident. And that first period was exactly what I expected. The second period was the most impressive period of any team that I've seen in the playoffs thus far. Being able to take the Oilers' best punch and fire a harder one right at them. It was unbelievable. So the fact that they took the Oilers' best punch and came back and won in enemy territory, completely took over the second period. We often talk about not believing what you just saw, but it was hard not to believe that the Oilers are just worthy of being that the Stars are worthy of being the Western Conference finalist in the Stanley Cup. That's what I saw. They reestablish home ice advantage. They're 6-1 on the road in the playoffs. So for me, in the next game we're going to talk about, I'm more confident in Florida going to MSG and winning than I am with Florida at home. And there's a similar feeling with the Stars in the playoffs thus far. They seem a little vulnerable at home when they look so tough and so businesslike on the road. Robertson's first career playoff hat trick, Wyatt Johnston scoring that big goal, Heiskanen in the empty net, Ottinger making 26 saves. Rupee Hintz comes back from that upper body injury in game 4 of the second round, and he looks great. There's obviously some issues with the upper body still, but he's got speed and size, and he creates space. Seguin and Ben each had 2 assists. They've both been very good in this series. So Rupee Hintz, remember, he is such a huge part of this power play and penalty kill that fell apart with him not there. This is a tricky team. You can't get the advantage on the power play because they don't take many penalties. They're a very complete team. The only thing that I would say in the room to my guys is you have to hit Miro Heiskanen in every single chance you get. So much so that I would say risk penalties, hitting Miro Heiskanen at every single spot. There's no more important player to the series than Heiskanen, which is not what I expected watching this. I expected we'd say, oh, McDavid. But I think Draisaitl, until last game, has been better than McDavid in the playoffs. Heiskanen playing 28 minutes, being on every important situation. Do you know that Heiskanen, and I don't think this changed last game, but during the game, he'd not been on the ice for a goal against in 7 straight games. This is a guy playing the most important moments. He'd not been on for a goal against, playing 28 minutes a game. He's look, I love Ekholm and I love Bouchard, but the best defenseman on the ice is Heiskanen, and he needs to be hit. He needs to be hurt. Peasy says, I still like the Rangers moving forward. I don't at all, and we'll talk about that here in our next game. But Connor McDavid with a goal and assist. Hyman, Henrique, 17 saves is all Stuart Skinner had to make. The Oilers are now 0-4 when tied after 2 periods. That's going to get in their head. That's going to weigh on them. They were 13-4-2 when tied after 2 periods of the regular season. Even that's not a very good number. I guess it's good. 0-4 in the playoffs kind of gets me. 13-4-2 is good when you're tied after 2 in the regular season, what should I say? But they're a top team. The Oilers had all the momentum. They have this dominant first period, and they couldn't keep it up. I don't know why I would sit there and expect them to keep it up tonight. Although I like my action with the Panthers-Oilers parlay at plus 179. So, and Stats saying Stars have outscored the Oilers 5-0 in the third period of the series. There's Guillermo Zertucci in the house. Aubrey Travis, Oilers future ticket. Look, I have an Oilers future ticket, but I'd much rather, it's just for the cup, and I'd much rather have my Panthers stuff action live. So that's it. I think that the Oilers can win this game. I just don't think that at minus 135 it's worth betting. If the Oilers go down a goal and they're bringing the play to the Stars, what we've seen in the NHL is the hunted is doing much better than the hunter. I think I said that wrong. Lack of sleep. The hunter is doing much better than the hunted. Anytime a team goes up and they feel comfortable for a second, these are the best teams in the NHL. They get attacked. So, sorry, the hunter is doing much better than the hunted. So I will have interest in the Oilers. Also, and I've told you guys this over and over and over again throughout the season with high-scoring teams, when you can get that 4.5, you hammer it. Hammer it. So last night, it was 1-0 after the first period. The 4.5 is right there to start, and it's minus 200. Within a minute and a half, it's at minus 180. And then 2 minutes after that, it's minus 160. So I made a big bet on the over 4.5 at minus 160. Look, and I could have waited longer. The vig could have gone down, but that 4.5 is so go-to. So here, if we see a low-scoring first period, if it's 1-0 after the first period, that 4.5 will be there live at minus 200. So you sit there and you wait until that vig is comfortable for you and get on that over 4.5 with these high-scoring teams. All right, there you go. New Corker is on the Stars at plus 115. DC Capper liking Dallas minus 1.5 in the over. Oh, okay, I hear you. DC Capper, these days just happen. You got to forget what happened yesterday and move immediately on to today's action. Move immediately on to today's action. They're going to happen. So, yeah. Rego says the only medicine for that is having a winning day today. And JP says over 4.5 in NHL is my favorite bet. Yeah, it's a great spot. It's a great spot. So keep that in mind with both of these series. I prefer it here in Dallas, Edmonton, but even in Florida, New York, I was just sitting there waiting to press the button. Slow Down Arsenal says, do you ever bet team totals? Yes, I do. More towards the under than the over. I just don't like betting over 3.5s when if I'm confident in a hockey game and I can win 3-1 or 3-0 on a -1. I just don't want to take that out. You're right, Billy Friedrich. The hunted's doing much better than the skunted. Okay, let's get into game 2. Let's get into Thursday night, May 30th action. Game 5, Panthers, Rangers, all tied up at 2 at Madison Square Garden. So just for starters, it doesn't matter that the Rangers are lucky to be 2-2. From a gambling standpoint, it doesn't matter to me that the Panthers have really, been taking the series towards the Rangers, because we know that the Rangers have intangibles. They have the better goaltender, and they have players that step up. Now, Kreider's missing. Zibanejad hasn't scored. There are some issues with some of their key forwards. But let me tell you this. I do not see a route for the New York Rangers to win this series. And I mean that. With the injuries to their defense, they are in the worst shape by far that they've been in all playoffs long. Yes, Shesty can steal you a game, and he'll have to. Because the Panthers are almost out shooting you 2-1. They're just coming at you in waves, and now they're going to go into Madison Square Garden and be all business, just like the Stars have been on the road. On defense right now, with this very, very good Rangers team, you have Lindgren and Fox as your top pair, and they're both hurt. Fox isn't talking about what's ailing him. Everybody else is, but he's hurt, and he's playing through it. Now Lindgren is hurt, and he's playing through it. K'Andre Miller is making gaff after gaff. I wouldn't want him on the ice in important spots. You're telling me that your number one pair defenseman is hurt, clearly. And K'Andre Miller, I wouldn't trust out there. Gustafsson is even being banged up at times, but he looked healthy last night. Trouba's been very good. You can't ask too much of Braden Schneider. The Panthers know that Fox and Lindgren are hurt. Everybody knows it. The Rangers are in enormous trouble. Enormous trouble. So I only added $100 to my bet on the Panthers. It's just a $400 bet for me. But I'm telling you, I am very confident. As confident as I've been in a game this year. Now, it may not be pretty because Shesty may stand on his head, but it doesn't matter. The Panthers smell blood in the water, and they're going to go into Madison Square Garden and beat them because the top defensive pair and Adam Fox should be the best defenseman in the series. He's not because he's hurt. They're going to struggle again. And I think this series is done in 6 games. And I'll tell you this too, I'll be less confident in game 6, regardless of how bad, Lindgren and Fox look, just because the pressure will be on the Panthers at home. Here on Thursday night, the Panthers are going to go into Madison Square Garden and they're going to beat them. And the only way that doesn't happen is if Shesty has the game of his life. We've seen Hasek do that in the playoffs. We saw Hasek take a weak Sabres team. Not weak is a little much, but not a strong Sabres team to Stanley Cup final. Can that happen here? So let's break down some more info here. The power play, if I give you the power play penalty killing numbers over the playoffs, you'd sit there and say, oh, well, it's even, right? Panthers power play 25%, penalty killing 87.2, Rangers power play 26.1, penalty killing 83. But that's not the case. Florida was 2 for 4 last night. They're 5 for 15 in the series. And that Trocheck goal, while a thing of beauty, was their first power play goal of the series. The best forward on the Rangers in the series is Alexis Lafreniere. He's a powerhouse. He looks so good. So he can change things, very, very quickly. Sure. And he's perfect for the playoffs. And the Rangers have a bright future. And I'm telling you, if we were sitting here and Fox and Lindgren were healthy, then first off, the Panthers wouldn't be favored. Maybe it'd be minus 105 or minus 100. This is going to go up. It keeps going up. Londo, I guess you're talking about the Texas Rangers because the New York Rangers are playing tomorrow. And it's okay if you guys like them. It's okay if you guys like them. But for me right now, remember at the end of the regular season when we were dealing with motivation and we went on, a 25 or 30 unit run? I finally got back. I finally feel the same thing. This is as confident as I could be in a hockey game. Sammy Reinhart, 65th goal of the season. He has 31 goals on the man advantage. He's hitting at 32%. He's scoring 32% of his power play shots. It's too bad but this happens in the playoffs. But one more thing about Lafreniere. Sorry, JP Taylor. Yeah, the series is tied. The thing about Lafreniere, one more thing. 5th player in Rangers history scored at least 7 goals in a single postseason before the age of 23. Alexei Kovalev holds the record at 9. And Alexei Kovalev, one of the most beloved hockey players of the last 30, 40 years by teammates and fans alike. So shout out to Alexei Kovalev. And Blake Wheeler is not on, I want to say the hook, but it's not his fault for that penalty 59 seconds into the extra section. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do in that situation. I don't think he's going to take a beating for that. We talk about, when a team has a lead or, the Rangers have a lot of character. They're capable of coming back in hockey games. I just don't think it's here. So, the Panthers 81-2-6 when it's leading after 40 minutes, and the Rangers still got the equalizer. TJ says these playoffs are what springs laughing into his much anticipated excellent career. It took him longer than we wanted, but look at next year. He's going to be a monster. He will be. I mean, it's hard to say, Panarin and him are such different hockey players, but good God. The Rangers have a huge, huge future. Huge. But when your top two defensemen are hurt, the way Lindgren and Fox are hurt, and trying to play through it because there's no other option, well, now you're in big trouble. Big trouble. Panthers take care of business, and little Helta Skelta original gun clap is called up by our guy Al Serbic. I actually listened to that song a couple weeks back. Saturated says, who's winning the NHL contest? Let's get Jose to bring that up because our leader is in the kitchen right now, about 15 feet away from me. Mama Bag has the lead, and we know that it's not TJ that Mama Bag has to worry about. And sorry, TJ, I'm sorry that it is diseases, whom we've talked about, whom we have no idea who diseases is. Diseases with all 20 players left in the pool right now. All 20 players left. Diseases now at what place is Diseases in? Can you move up for us? Diseases is at 275. So I think Diseases, if Dallas can knock out the Oilers, if it's a Dallas-Florida Stanley Cup final, my mom can win. If it's the Oilers against the Panthers or Oilers against the Rangers, I think Diseases will win. So TJ is up by 2 points. TJ is up by 2 points, but I'm sitting here, with this expectation that the Rangers get knocked out. And that will make it difficult. If it's a Dallas Panthers Stanley Cup final, it's just Diseases that can catch Mama Bag. So that is our NHL playoff pool. Thank you to all of you guys who are a part of it. And also thank you to Jose for not succeeding, because I did not want to have to pay for his entry into our Cappers contest and Survivor pool. 200 American. That was but I will offer that up year after year. That is our NHL breakdown. So the Panthers, if the Rangers score first, the Panthers are an immediate bet. And it's tough. It's tough for these teams that have so much skill and character and whole city backing them up, and yet injuries have derailed their. I mean, you're not going to succeed getting outshot 2-1. It just can't work. That's why it's a 7-game series. You'll get beaten down. The Panthers are all business after losing the Stanley Cup final last year. I'll look out to whoever has to play them. Now, Dallas can beat them, but they're the only team I think left that can. All right, let's get into MLB. We have a giant MLB slate. Wine Time says, crazy line movement, game one of the Tigers in the last 10 minutes. And Frank Ritacos has been traveling for work, but ready to rock, moving on the Panthers tomorrow night for a dime. It's ripe for the taking. I would bet more. Maybe I should bet more on it. I think I'll be ready to go live, but I got the 5-1 for the conference. So I don't feel like I need to go more. I'll get 2K if they win the conference, and then 4K live for the cup. And it's important for me. So, but I love hearing that, Frank. This is as confident as I feel like I could be in a spot. Let's get into Major League Baseball here. And I was thankful for the days off. Baseball was affecting me badly. And it's just too important to our lives. And so I'm thankful for that time off. I'm going to act as if this is day one of the regular season. Now, if Jose and I just struggle, the show struggles. We'll have to bring in other people to help us with baseball. I don't want that to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. But it scares the shit out of me. We have to win right here, right now, today, tomorrow, the next day. We don't need to have huge days. We don't need 5-0 days. We just need to win. day by day, and that's what we plan on doing now. Coin saying holding a Florida 10-1 to win the Cup placed back in February. I think we placed it at the exact same time. Coin. I think we placed, which we were a little bit late for, anyways, but I think we placed it at the right time. So let's get to work. Let's welcome our star of MLB programming here on Pub Sports Radio, coming to us from San Antonio, Texas, home of the Southtown 101. If you are anywhere near San Antonio, you must hit the Southtown 101, best bar in Texas. Studio in the back, 12 TVs in that back room, let alone the TVs in the front. It's magic. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Jose Bouquett. Jose, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. Baseball hasn't been the best, but have not been horrible recently, so can't complain. A 2-2 day yesterday. Rainouts obviously affected our card as well, but can't complain. How are you, Jimmy? It's nice to see you, Father.
It's nice to see you. I just I can't enjoy myself right now in life. I can't. This is in the back of my head. Us not succeeding is just it's carried around with me wherever I go, and we need it. We need to fix this, and I hope that some time off. I tried so hard not to move on games. I hope that the time off is going to allow me to come back and attack. So I'm nervous. I'm uncomfortable. So let's get to work and let's deliver, my friend. We have a double dip to start things off. We start off in 1 hour and 2 minutes, game one. We've heard both Wine Time and our guy Troy Torrance both on the Pittsburgh Pirates here in game one. Pittsburgh Pirates, Detroit Tigers, Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. Let's begin with the weather. 64 Fahrenheit, 10.1 miles per hour out to right field. Gets up to 12.2 miles per hour out to right field. We have two great young pitchers in Jared Jones and Tariq Skubal. Let's get into the line history and the cash flow and go from there. From a line history standpoint, we have the Tigers and Skubal. How could that be? It doesn't feel like it could possibly.
I am also confused at this line as well, because on my line history site it has the line flipped.
Yeah,
as well. It has
so that's all it is.
132.
They've just got it flipped.
Yeah, they did that for the other one as well.
Okay, so that's fine.
I questioned my graphics and I was like, was I just asleep this morning? God,
no, that's fine. So the Tigers open up at minus 141, and the Tigers are now minus 133. The Pirates opened up at plus 130, and now the Pirates are at plus 123. These are pinnacle numbers. So we'll remember that for the next game. We're going to be doing both of these games here right off the hop. From a total situation here, we have two great young pitchers and a total at 8. This has gone up to 8 a couple different times. It opened up 7.5 minus 114 to the under. It got up to 8 at 10:58, back down, and it's back at 8 again.
So that's so funny because I'm looking at a 6.5 on Bet Online right now. This is.
Oh
this
yeah,
I've
got a 6.5 as well.
No, okay, I refreshed. Now it's a 7, but
wow, I've got a 6.5 as well. Let me just refresh this. So, is it possible? Okay, maybe
I think the doubleheader has fucked these games up line history wise.
Okay, so let's not worry about the line history. Let's just right now we have a 6.5 for the total of game one. We have a 7.5 for the total of game two. Let's not worry about, obviously the action or whatever's going on has messed these up. So, okay. And no, we're not using Spank odds, but maybe we should switch to that because Spanky is as good as it gets in this industry.
Spank odds just sounds hilarious. I'll admit it.
Maybe we should be doing that. I'm gonna copy and paste that because this is been disappointing us for a while. Okay, here, let's go. So we have Jared Jones, 3-4, 3.05 ERA, 0.97 WHIP, 68 Ks, 10 walks, 10 homers. His last start was a 9-5 extra inning loss at home versus the Giants, and it was a quality start. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 5 Ks, 3 walks. Wasn't dominant. He's been better at home than he's been on the road. 2-2, 3.86 ERA, 28 innings, 35 Ks, 3 walks. So great K to walk ratio and a 221 opponent's batting average. Tariq Skubal as the opposite. He's been better on the road than he has been at home for some reason. And he's coming off a bad road start. So maybe he's ready to fire here. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks, and 8-3 loss at the Royals. At home this year, he's 3-0 with a 2.61 ERA, 33 Ks, 8 walks, and a 191 opponent's batting average. That's over 31 innings. The Pirates are hitting lefties pretty hard. What we see this year in and year out. For whatever reason, it takes teams 6 weeks or so to start hitting lefties. It's a confusing. And then they start hitting lefties harder than they hit righties. That's happening in Major League Baseball right now. All the teams are hitting lefties. Pirates versus lefties, 238, 714 OPS. Tigers versus righties, 236, 684 OPS. The Pirates bullpen, 4.85 ERA, 1.40 whip, converting 50 and 27, has not been good all year. And the Tigers bullpen has been atrocious of late. This was a top 5 bullpen after a month of the season, and they've fallen apart. 4.10 ERA, 1.26 whip, converting 14 of 25. Take us away here, Jose. Game 1, Jared Jones, Tariq Skubal.
Yeah, so I bet the first 5 under in this game last night or yesterday, I should say, and I want to bet it again, and I think I probably will. Again, I don't love it's minus 125, 3.5. I don't love that, but I just believe in both of these guys here. No, and I just was curious to see what a nerfy was in this game, minus 170. So yeah, I'll just take the first 5 under again here. Jimmy, I don't know if you mentioned the markets and the total here. Just action wise, 98% of the bets and money on the over. We saw that move finally go up a little bit, or I guess up to from 6.5 to 7, but I still believe that this is an under game. I think it's weird that and I guess the site's probably messed up. So let me look at Bovada here. Actually, no, they're showing a 7. Okay, yeah, I'll probably move on the first 5 under though. First 5 under, 3.5, minus 125 for me, unfortunately, but I like it.
So we have a first half under for Jose. Under what was it?
3.5 minus 125.
I would like to do this. I know we got Cappers on the no run in the first inning, and Jose on the first 5 under, 3.5, and Sharpie in the house says showdown sale, both 7 innings of 1 run or no run ball. They ain't getting a Skubal. I would like to see if I can get in on a live over. So this game pops off in less than an hour. Let's see how far they go. Because
what number are you looking for?
Well, I would like a 5.5. I'd like a 5.5. But if they're just rolling, I would have some interest in a 4.5. Ron Crawford says the spreadsheet dog play of the day is the Pittsburgh. Oh, it's not the play of the day. It's just the spreadsheet dog play is the Pirates, but not the play of the day.
Yeah, good record the spreadsheet dog has.
It's been great. Yeah, teacher said I don't know how you don't bet the full game over with these pens live. That is, yeah. That's going to be my plan. So the game starts in 55 minutes, and I want to see what number I can get. So that's the plan. But Jose has moved on the first half under 3.5 at minus 125. Let's talk about the second game here. Obviously, we're going to want to see what goes on in the first game. We have Keider Montero making his Major League Baseball debut here. Pirates and Tigers going up against each other. In the second game of the double dip, Keider Montero last year started in high A at West Michigan. Michigan went up to double A Erie and triple A Toledo. And, he struggled. No, it was 22. He's 23 years old right now, turning 24 in a little bit, but he struggled in double A and triple A. This year in triple A, he's thrown 30 and 2/3, 1.47 whip, 4.40 ERA. And he's going up against Skeens, who's been absolutely spectacular. Skeens, 2.25 ERA, 21 Ks and 4 walks, 1 home run allowed in 16 innings. The Pirates are the second worst team in Major League Baseball against righties, 224, 637 OPS, the Pirates. And the Tigers are marginally better. I don't want to look at the line history because I wonder if they flip these two games or what they're doing with it. But I can tell you that the 6.5 heavily juiced to the over in Pirates Tigers. It's a 7.5 in game 2, and Skeens is minus 140. Do you have a plan of attack here in game 2 of the double dip?
Yeah, I kind of like the under here as well, honestly. Jimmy, we've seen this plenty of times. The guy is struggling, gets called up, first time in the majors. This is a big spot for him. Think, brings like his maximum focus to this start. Pirates offense isn't good. He's not like he's coming up and seeing the Braves. And of course, Paul Skeens on their side. You know how this goes as well, Jimmy. When there's an ace on the other side, the other guy on the other team really feels like he steps up his game. Now, what does Montero here have to offer? I'm not sure. But I'd lean under in this game as well. Another first 5, just because I think Skeens can dominate again. It'll be interesting to see how he does. But this is definitely Tigers or nothing for me. I just would much rather be on this guy trying to match Skeens, honestly, and being a hungry dog chasing Skeens. But first 5 under, I think I lean here, but no action. Would like to see the first game.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see how much money is here on. I mean, we're only talking about 3,000 tickets or so, but how much money's come in on the Tigers in game 2? I'm not sure what to do with all that information. It would be nice if the Pirates lose game 1 and Skeens needs to lock in and deliver. I would find that interesting. There's our guy Nutflush Allen in the house. Great to see you, Nutflush. So we're gonna be talking about this game as it goes on, game 1 and plans on game 2. But I think that Skeens probably delivers here. So I'm curious to see what happens with this market. If we're to believe what's going on with this market right now, which I'm not sure if we are, they're saying that this total here. Yeah, I think they just got it flipped. I'm certain of that. It's just flipped. So they've screwed up. That's what action has done. They've screwed that up. So Pinnacle then, which I think I have up here, Pinnacle has moved the game 2 to 8. Let me just see if that's true. Then we'll know exactly what's going on. Pirates game 2. Yeah, so, okay, that's all that's going on. So they've got the games flipped. So for that, so the market's moving towards the over in game 2. And it's moving towards those of you who are moving on the game 1 spot. Pinnacle has just moved that back to 7. Yeah, they've just moved it back to 7. So, okay. Well, let's roll.
No action for me. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on all of that. Morgan Smith said under 7.5 bet last night. Says the fuck Paul Skeens effect. Montero has his chip on his shoulder, ready to pitch. Lineups will be bare bones with doubleheader and regress to mean 3 overs and 3 Skeens starts. I get that.
Yeah, and by the way, obviously, Morgan, you've seen those starts. The 3 overs are all bullpen related too, or the other team falling apart as well. I've been on the other side of these unders for those starts as well, but it's like the bullpen will come in and just fucking blow. The first start was that rain delay shit, so it's crazy. But you're right, Morgan. I do like I said, I like the first 5 under, and I'm going to be on it. So,
all right, so that is the double dip. So I'm going to be watching closely, and you guys can help. I would like to find a live over in that baseball game. Let's move on. 1:10 p.m. Eastern with the St. Louis Cardinals 26-27, 13-15 on the road. Cincinnati Reds 24-31, 14-16 at home at Great American Ballpark, Cincinnati, Ohio. We have Andre Palante's first start of the season here in this one. So he's come out of the pen 9 times. He has started 3 games in AAA. Hasn't looked good. Well, I guess he's looked okay there. Palante is this strange pitcher. This guy, his K to walk ratio is horrific. I mean, it's been that way in AAA. It's that way in Major League Baseball. So he's got 6 Ks and 5 walks through 9 appearances. In AAA, he has started 3 games and come out of the pen once. And he is not allowed a home run. He's allowed 14 hits and 16 in the third. But he's walked 13 batters and struck out 9. So here's a guy. Now I know that the sample size is just 60 and 30, who's got a 1.65 WHIP and a 2.20 ERA. I mean, I don't know if we've ever heard that before. So I don't find that. I don't know what to do exactly with Andre Palante, and I don't think he's going to be in, obviously, for very long. His last appearance was April 20th. He did go 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned with 1 walk and a 12-5 loss at home versus the Brewers. Going up against Frankie Montas, who I'm not sure if Frankie Montas can be trusted. He sure looked great at the beginning of the year, and then he's looked terrible ever since. At home, he's been much better than he's been on the road. Now, we're only talking about a sample size of 23 and 2/3 innings at home, 3.04 ERA, 18 Ks, 4 walks, 245 opponents batting average. The Cards are hitting right now. They're hitting. Now, overall in the season, 246, 702 OPS. And the Reds' offense is meek, way worse than we expected. 211, 646 OPS. And both bullpens have been very good and very good of late. Overall in the season, Cards bullpen 3.89 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, and converted 19 of 24 save opportunities. It's very good. Reds bullpen 3.73 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, converted 11 of 14 save opportunities. Let's get into the line history here for this one. This total is at 9.5, which is where it opened, and there's been 8 cents of movement towards the under. That surprises me. And I thought that this could be the over that Wine Time was so heavily believed in so much. It's not. This has Cincinnati opening up at -115. They're now -118. So it's gone 3 cents of action towards them. So a slight move to the under and a slight move towards the Reds. When we get to the cash flow for this spot, Cardinals have 32% of tickets and 47% of the cash. And that makes sense to me. And this total is 50-50, completely 50-50. And not flush out. You mean Frankie Soft Toss? Yeah, Frankie Soft Toss Montas, which ended up being the nickname because Fuck Toss didn't seem to work as well. Soft Toss. Take it away for us here, Jose. Cardinals, Reds.
Yeah, I wanted to back the Cardinals. I admittedly was thinking team total to avoid the Andre Palante. I assume Matthew Liberatore comes in after him as well because he can give them length. Hasn't thrown. So, yeah, I'd probably go that way. But I think it's just Cardinals team total or nothing for me. And I haven't gotten there. I saw Justin likes it. And you're right. The Cardinals against righties in the last few weeks have been crushing them. Second best in the league. Paul Goldschmidt finally have woken up a little bit as well. So that was nice to see. But second best against righties from the 12th to today. 140 weighted runs created plus. Now I've gone back and forth on team totals in my head mentally. And if I think they're going to score 5 runs, why don't I just take a money line? And what are the odds of that? And then yesterday, for example, I had the Mets money line, I had the Mets team total over 3.5, and they were up 2-0 the whole game. And I was just sitting there lamenting. I was like, God damn it, am I really going to lose this fucking bet? And I didn't take the money line. And of course I blow it. But it was one of those things that I was really annoyed about. And then it kind of happened later in the night as well with the Angels game. If I just took the Angels money line, I probably would have cashed more than Angels team total over 3.5. But it is just more security. So I got to go back and forth, obviously. And shout out to Nutflush, who dominates team totals. But yeah, I like Cardinals team total here, and I've gone back and forth on it. So I haven't moved on it yet, but it's definitely written down. So I like it. And like I said, I see TJ on money line. So
Chase says, what exactly would tell anyone to take an under in this game? That always scares me. That always makes me not want to get involved, Chase, because it seems like there's sharp action on the under, and that concerns me. And when we look at this lineup, we have a confirmed lineup for the Cardinals. So who are raking? So this lineup has 6 lefties in it, and 4 of your first 5 batters lefties. And the only one is not Goldschmidt. So you got Burleson, Gorman, Carpenter down the line. You start out with Donovan Newtbar. And because it's a problem for Montas, it's always been a problem. Right now, lefties are hitting 295 with an 851 OPS against them. I don't see why the Cardinals shouldn't be backed. I just Montas just doesn't look very good. This Cardinals bullpen has been very good. And look at the offense that's coming from the Reds. I mean, to me, this is Cardinals' first 5 full game. This is a double up spot, I think.
10-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, by the way, Cincinnati. So I think I'll just move on the team total and be a little safe.
I have no fear of this Reds lineup. Friedel, Dela Cruz, Candelario, Fraley, Steer, Martini, India, Benson, Maye. I mean, you got
4.5. Sorry, 4.5 minus 115 for me.
So you are on the Cards team total over 4.5. What was it? Sorry,
minus 115, and yeah, no Arenado obviously in that lineup. So, but I like the lefties, like you mentioned.
Yeah, I think this is a card spot. Cards first 5 in full game. People look at Palante and think, oh, you have a huge advantage with Frankie Montas, but God, he's not looked good in his last few starts. I mean, I unfortunately had to back him in a couple of them. When we go through his game log, I haven't backed him since that Giants start because he looked so hittable. He was getting barreled all through the first 3 innings, and then in the 4th inning, he got touched up. So in his last 3 starts, 15 and 2/3, he's allowed 11 earned runs, 3 homers. He has 7 strikeouts and 5 walks. He's laboring, is what's happening. He's laboring.
This is going to be interesting.
I don't think it's fishy at all with Palante starting and them being on.
I mean, the Reds are a better team than the Cardinals, just straight up. If we're going to be honest, I think they should be bigger favorites in this.
What numbers do you have to prove that they're a better team? Because all that I'm reading don't state that.
But I was going to look at their just overall record. Do the Cardinals not have a worse record than the?
No, Cardinals are ahead of the Reds.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Let's say you can tell I don't look at MLB standings. Jeez, that's crazy.
There's no way to prove that the Reds are a better team than the Cardinals. So it's just there's nothing.
Wow.
There's nothing that will back up that statement.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to be on them. Cardinals team total over 4.5 minus 115. So that's interesting. With how everyone sees the Cardinals, they're actually better than the Reds this year, and all the Reds have is Ellie De La Cruz, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to move this here, and obviously, I mean, part of the reason is just a vividness bias, and we had an expectation of the Reds delivering this year.
Yeah, I mean, 8-2 in their last 10. That makes sense.
Dana Delp says Reds spot here. Reds lefties versus righties is their strong side. Dana Delp, it's a bullpen day. What happens when Liberatore is in there? He's lefty.
Yeah, he's going to come. I'm very confident we'll see 2 innings, 3 innings of Palante, and then Matty Lib will walk right through that door next.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't. No, you can say it's a red spot here for other reasons. And Mikey Money in the house saying Cards bullpen's better too.
By the way, for those people wondering, Kittredge hasn't thrown in the last 2 days. Kyle Leahy threw 20 on Monday, didn't throw yesterday. Hensley hasn't thrown in 2 days. Liberatore threw 13 on Monday, didn't throw yesterday, and Jojo Romero has not thrown since Sunday. So all those guys probably go.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get this action in here during our breakdowns. So I will try to set that all up here, and I will.
By the way, and some other breaking news for other people that care, Ty Lue just got extended on the Clippers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him.
Yeah. No, he's a good coach, so I generally agree with that statement.
Okay, so double up spot for me on the Cardinals here. Let's move on to 2:35 p.m. Eastern, and it is time for our guest appearance on today's show. Now,
I'm very interested to see where, what his situation is here. It's going to be very interesting.
A tornado in Dallas, and thankfully, the Dabby Cab family is safe. But trees are down all over the place, and the internet is down. So he's moved to his folks' house to rock with us here right now. Yes, Dimmy, I'm moving first 5 in full game.
And Dabby does live in butt fuck nowhere, so it's gonna be like 6 weeks until they get their fucking internet back, I'm sure.
Well, I saw, I was looking at the pictures, and it does look like he's out there a little bit.
For sure. He's definitely out there.
I want to be over at
like
that spot
Jimmy,
party, right?
from Dabby's house to like the Rangers Stadium is in like an hour. It's an hour drive, basically. That's how far he lives from anything.
Looks like a nice house, man.
Yeah, of course, it's great. It's very funny,
house, though. Man. I don't, all that matters is you got a nice spot for his fam. That's what.
A lot of privacy.
Troy Torrance says Rangers at home with 80% of the money on the over this season, 9-2 to the under. Wow. Let's bring him on now. Safe. His family is safe. We're all very thankful for that. So please welcome our guest star today, Mr. Dabby Cab. Dabby, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Can you guys hear me? Does it sound all right?
Yeah, it's okay, my man. It is okay here. Skunt Blaster in the house with it says Oilers money line over 4.5 is plus 120. That's not enough. That's not enough. I don't think, Skunt Blaster. I don't think that's enough, honestly. But that is a way of handling it. I don't think that's enough. Personally. I mean, but we'll talk. Dabby Cab, great to have you here. Let us know a little bit about what went on the last 36 hours before we get rolling.
Man, listen, I've been in storms before, Jimmy, Jose, had to go to wherever you're supposed to go for a tornado, and it's never really bothered me. Yesterday was the scariest shit that I've ever experienced in my life, and I hope that I never have to go through something like that again. There was
Did you get videos?
Where I was holding on to my kids, and I was like, yeah, I sure hope I can hold them when this tornado picks us off the ground. Like I was just certain that the house was going to disappear. There's fucking trees flying around everywhere, hitting the windows. It was not fun. I'll say that.
Jesus, that is so scary, man. Well, I'm so glad that everybody is good to go here. Good to go, and we're happy to have you. So thank you for figuring out how to make this work, and we're glad that that you guys are all healthy and all good to go here. You ready to rock, my friend?
I'm ready to go, man. I got 3 bets today. We're close to getting to the window on a 4th one, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, brother.
Oh, Jesus. And I was thinking when I was putting in your record, what happened with the waffle last out? Do you remember, Jose?
I don't
know. There was a Braves team total.
Yeah.
Yeah, he bet it. He ended up betting it, and then we ended up losing because he bet it.
Oh, it didn't stay the.
No, yeah, it was the Braves. I think it was Braves team total over 4.5. Yeah. I bet it. He said, "Oh, you fucking bet it because you think it's a waffle." And I was like, "No, I just like the spot. Your breakdown was good. I bet it." We both ended up betting it, and we lost because Cab bet it. If he didn't bet it, they would have scored like 16 runs. We know that.
You talking about this Saturday with the Braves?
No, talking about. I think it was Friday.
No, it was
come on the show Friday.
It was Thursday.
Oh, sorry, Thursday. There we go. Yeah.
So, but you know that he did tweet out a bet on it?
I think, yeah. Didn't we talk about it, Dabby? We talked about it, how it was almost a waffle, and then we're
talking about 2 different things, I think, Jose, because I'm talking about on Saturday when I did say hey with you. The Braves team total over was on Saturday.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I'm getting all my dates mixed up.
Okay, I'll go over the Thursday one again here. But
19-2 allegedly.
Yeah, because I only did Wednesday last week, Jimmy. I wasn't here on Thursday either.
Yes, but you told me what you were thinking about betting, and I shared it.
That is right. See, I don't up with bets that I don't make. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you just have to look at your text messages, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it lost, Jimmy. If I'm not mistaken, the bet that I didn't make lost on Thursday.
Dabby's praying that it lost.
I hope it did.
Just fucking begging for it to lose at this point.
I want to say maybe it was like a Phillies team total or something like that. I can go through our messages, but
I can do it.
All that matters is today, though. We're gonna win today, man. Shout out to you guys in the chat: Chase J, Troy Torrance, Benjamin, Top Set, man. Everybody's in here today. We got to get that money, man.
Yes, it was the Braves team total over 4.5 on Thursday. So let's just find this out because we need to know how hot. Because if there's been a slowdown. This would make it 19-3. We need to know. This is
how hot are these Belgians?
It's very, very important information. On the Thursday, the Braves only scored 3 runs. They won 3-0. So that is a loss. So it's 19-3 here.
Wow.
Well, how bad?
Okay. All right.
That means the next one's cashing for sure.
Let's roll here. Diamondbacks 25-29, 12-14 on the road. Texas Rangers 26-29, 13-13 at home. We're at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. First off, we'll take a look at the weather. If it's hot, we'll know that the roof is closed here. I guess you could tell us, is it windy and crazy there?
No, it's actually died down. And, last night I was thinking the same thing. I was on Seager's total bases last night. I figured the ball would carry last night. I think the baseball is going to carry today. It's very humid after the rain. I really think baseball is going to be flying today.
But the roof's going to be closed. The first pitch is 83, gets up to 86.
Okay, so it's hot enough to where it's closed.
Yeah, roof will be closed. And Arizona is also a spreadsheet dog. Now, not the spreadsheet dog of the day, but also a spreadsheet dog here. We have Ryan Nelson going up against Dane Dunning. Let's get into the line history here and here at Dabby Cab's best bet. From a line history standpoint, the Rangers are sitting at minus 133. They opened up at now minus 131. They opened up minus 130. So one run. That's it. Or sorry, 1 cent. That's it. Just 1 cent of action. From a total side of things, this has gone to a 9. It actually opened up at 9, and it opened minus 115 to the under. It's only minus 111 to the under. 3 cent move to the over from plus 102 to minus 101. So very little market movement in this one. Get to the cash flow. 90% of tickets, 91% of cash is on the over. And on the money line, 83% of the tickets and 94% of the cash is on the Texas Rangers. So is Ryan Nelson live here. Last start, 5 innings, 5 hits, didn't allow a run. It was a great performance, 6-0 win at the Dodgers. But he's been terrible all year, 6.03 ERA, 1.83 whip. It's interesting because he's been terrible at home. He's been horrific at home. On the road, he's been pretty good. Now, it's only 16 2/3, and they do have a 324 points batting average against them. But 15 strikeouts, 3 walks, 3.24 ERA. With Dunning, he's been below average at home and on the road, and his last start was another example of him being below average. 3 1/3, 4 hits, 5 runs, 3 of which were in, 1 homer, 4 Ks. Shout out to Action Jackson, who just subscribed to the channel. Welcome, Action Jackson, my friend. Great to see you. You know, my first $1,000 bet was against a guy named Action Jackson, and I was not certain. I didn't think he was going to pay. And it was for the Anaheim Ducks, Ottawa Senators Stanley Cup final. And he did pay. And
What
I was
side
so
were you on?
I was on the Ducks.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I was
some of us
so
don't know who won that off the top of their
the
head.
Ducks,
Sorry.
The Ducks won. And I was so shocked that he paid that I spent $400 in the bar on that afternoon, which was such a terrible maneuver. It was so stupid of me. But I was just
What
so
did you get?
excited. I have no idea. I slapped a lot of ass. I can tell you that
Cookies,
much.
Jose. The fuck you think he bought? He said he was at the bar.
Yeah, it was booze. Booze for everybody. Browns for everybody. I was
Right,
so
I just want to
excited.
know what drinks, what kind of bevies.
It was
But
so
fair.
stupid. It was so dumb. I needed the money so bad, and then I blew 400 sitting there. Paid, whatever. Diamondbacks, Rangers, Ryan Nelson, Dane Dunning. Diamondbacks versus righties, 227, 668 OPS. They've been terrible. And the Rangers have been okay versus righties. That's not their Achilles heel this year, 244, 716 OPS. Their Achilles heel is their bullpen, 4.93 ERA, 1.38 whip. They've looked terrible, converting just 10 of 18 save opportunities. Diamondbacks bullpen's been bad too, 4.21 ERA, 1.37 whip, converting 11 of 22 save opportunities. Here we go. Adabra Cadabra. So the roof is closed. 2 bad pitchers going up against each other. We have a ton of cash on the over. The line's not moving. We have a ton of cash on the Rangers, and the line's not moving. What's your plan?
So I'll start off with this, talking about Dunning last game. He gave up the 5 runs, only 3 of them earned. He could have given up 10 in that game, Jimmy. He looked awful. And he's coming off that injury, and I think that they rushed him. Dunning didn't get any he didn't get any rehab starts. He just went straight into that game against the Phillies. I tell you what, coming off an injury, the Phillies is the last team that I'd want to pitch against. And now he's just coming back after that 3 1/3 inning here to go against the Diamondbacks. I don't trust Dunning here. Okay, so if you're looking to bet this game from a side, I would be very careful getting behind the Rangers and Dunning. He's not somebody who has overpowering stuff. He's not going to throw a 96, 97 mile an hour fastball by you. He's low 90s, upper 80s with his off speed, and overpowering. So I could see today, I could see Dunning get hit. On the other side of that, I don't trust Nelson either. A 1.83 whip that's about as high of a whip as you're going to see in all of baseball. So where am I at here this game? I'm back where I've been. And I know I'm not on this show every day, but I've been back on Seager's total base prop, and I've cashed it 3 times in a row that I've bet it. For anybody paying attention, I know Seager's only hitting 258 on the season, but he has 7 home runs in his last 7 games. He's absolutely turned it up. As far as hitters go in the major leagues, he's got the 7th most hits now, over 100 miles per hour coming off the bat. So again, I know he's hitting 258. Those numbers are not honest numbers. Seager's going to continue to turn it around here. I had him yesterday. I had him the last 2 games before that also. There's no reason to stop here. You know, if you haven't been riding this train with me, I get it if you don't want to hop on. But if you're on it, let's just keep cashing here. Seager over 1.5 total bases.
Seager over 1.5 total bases for Cab. And what was the juice on that?
Minus 120.
Minus 120. Take it away, Jose. TJ and Troy talking about the under in this spot. Take it away, Jose. What are your thoughts here?
It seems like I got to be the guy that walks the plank here. TJ and Troy both don't want to bet this under. They both like it. Troy talking about that Chicago-Milwaukee under from last night. Thank God I took the first 5. I'll take the under. I'll take the under in this game. Now, after just mentioning a bullpen implosion, should I just take a first 5 under? Probably, but I'll roll full game under 9 minus 115. I really think that these spots are going to change at some point, Jimmy. Like this, like totals. And it's not just because of, baseball, whatever. I'm talking more like the market here. 90% of the money in bets on the over. I just don't believe that those spots are going to continue to cash. I'll continue to fade those spots when the totals or the numbers are going down on the odds or in the under. I'll keep fading those spots. I'll think it'll change eventually. And sure, the numbers will adjust soon, and hopefully sooner rather than later. But yeah, I'm on the under in this game.
Can I give my opinion on when I think the numbers that you're talking about will change?
Absolutely. Sure.
I think they'll change when NHL and NBA playoffs are over. I think they'll change whenever people's only option is to bet baseball or not bet at all. Because right now, let's be honest, Jose, how many people of the quote-unquote public do you think have already gone to the window to bet this game?
It's a good question. I mean, now there's less basketball games today, so today might be different. But with all those NHL games and stuff, I know what you mean.
See, Troy put it in there. He said in July the public will get wrecked. All I'm saying is right now I don't know how much the public is betting baseball, I guess is my point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think there's something you said there. It feels like the Rangers' issues are very real. Very real. Jimmy. So I can't take. I understand why you guys are interested in the under. It feels like the books are opening their arms to the under, but it just doesn't correlate in a way where I actually want. That I would think, I like this under. I only like it because I see the books opening their arms to the over. But what about the Diamondbacks here? What about backing the Diamondbacks here? All this money, like that's something I can see a little more. Dunning is not being good. You're sitting here with 83% of tickets and 94% of the cash on the Rangers, and the line's not moving a cent.
I'd rather be on Diamondbacks as well. Jimmy, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I feel like we just dominated taking dog and unders. That's what I feel like it was for 2 weeks, 3 weeks there. So I agree with you. It's dog and under for me. I'm just taking the under here only. Well, and obviously World Series revenge.
I got a question here. Jay Stone said, wouldn't Seager to get a walk be a good move? This is going to sound stupid because I know the answer is yes, but I haven't bet somebody's walk props. If somebody's intentionally walked, that still counts as a walk, right?
Right.
Seager's been intentionally walked 3 times in the last 3 games. So I absolutely think that's a good bet, Jay Stone, as long as you're getting good value on it.
It's such a bitch move that walks don't count for total bases. I hate that shit.
That's last night I had Seager's total bases and he got it. He got it in the 5th inning when he hit that 3-run homer. But in the 3rd inning, his second in bat, he came up. It was 1st and 3rd, 1 out. And they were like, intentionally walk. I'm like, dude, we're 50 games into the baseball season in a 2-0 game and you're intentionally walking people. Come on.
Yeah. And Morgan, by the way, I agree with you there generally, but that's why, I feel like I've got to bet it full season. because over the course of this full season, I don't think that those spots are going to be winners. So I agree with you there, though. They're definitely not afraid to let the public have one or two.
Okay. I've just bet these 3 bets. Cardinals first 5, Cardinals full game, and Diamondbacks full game, all plus money spots. I got plus 110 and plus 105 for the Cardinals first 5 and full game respectively. 110 full game first 5, 105. That at 365. I sent that in. And then I moved on to 121 at penny. So we are in business. There's our guy Fap win in the house. Moneyline parlay, Padres, the Friars, and the Orioles. Here, Friars and
I know there's no horse racing when Fap's sending MLB plays.
And I'm on the Diamondbacks. So you are on the under. What did you get, Jose?
9 minus 115.
And you got Jose got under 9 minus 115. Under 9 minus 115. And Dabby Cab, you join us a little bit later for your next best bets. But Dabby Cab is on the board. Corey Seager over 1.5 paces minus 120. Cab, we will see you very soon, my friend. Next up for us, I haven't tweeted out that action either. I've got to do that, but I bet I'll do that here when we hear our guy Jose talking about this next spot. 3:45 p.m. Eastern. We have the Philadelphia Phillies 38-18, 16-10 on the road. San Francisco Giants 29-27, 17-10 at home. We're at Oracle Park, San Francisco, California. Christopher Sanchez and Kyle Harrison, 2 lefties on the bump, and 2 teams that hit lefties. Phillies 264, 759 OPS versus lefties. Giants 254, 722 OPS versus lefties. We also have a pitcher in Christopher Sanchez who has been lights out at home and struggled on the road. Now he's coming off his first really strong road start. But overall, 0-2, 4.63 ERA, 3.10 opponents batting average with 12 Ks and 12 walks in 23 1/3. So he's not looked good on the road, even though he's looked good this year. And Kyle Harrison has not looked as good at home as I thought. He's kind of struggled a bit at home. He's kind of struggled a bit overall. He's got great stuff. 3.90 ERA, 1.30 whip. His last start, 8-7 win at the Mets, 5 innings, 5 runs, 4 of which were earned. At home, he's got he's 1-0 with a 4.15 ERA, 240 opponents batting average. And both bullpens have been good of late, especially the Giants bullpen, which looked horrific in the first 6 weeks or 5 weeks of the year. It looks much, much better. So let's take a look at the line history and the weather and hand it over to Jose Bouquett. Weather-wise, 61 Fahrenheit, 6.5 miles per hour to right field. Gets up to 10.2, but we know it swirls there. From a line history standpoint, we have this total at 7.5 at a pick'em. This opened up at 8, dropped 7.5. It kept going back and forth, 8, 7.5, 8, 7.5. I'm surprised at 7.5. I know no runs were scored yesterday, but I'm surprised. It just doesn't really make sense to me. When we get to the cash flow, 70% of the tickets, 81% of cash on the Phillies. And on the total, 93% of tickets, 90% cash on the over. So a ton of money on the over, and it's moving towards the under. I'm not going to get in the way of that. Then we have a ton of money on the Philadelphia Phillies. From a money line spot, we have these Giants sitting at plus 115. They opened up at plus 111. They got up to plus 120 a couple times. But it's always come back. It's always come back. Take it away, Jose, your plan here. Take it away.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to move on this game. This will fall into those gift bet categories that if I was, feeling better about my action, I would bet. I like the Giants here. Kyle Harrison, we've talked about being a very good lefty. And, I'm doing a split from the 12th to today. So you could tell me 93 plate appearances is not enough. But in the last 93 plate appearances against lefties, the Giants are the best team against lefties. 168 weighted runs created plus. 291 average and almost a 1 OPS there as well. So I do indeed want to back the Giants, and I wouldn't mind backing an under here. And again, a dog and an under. So I lean Giants. So Justin, don't worry. I won't be saying Phillies today. I lean Giants, but shout out to Troy Torrance, who's saying sharp trap on the Phillies here. Part of the reason why I don't want to back the Giants is I think they're my Phillies. I guess they're the best team in baseball, I think, and I just don't want to fade them. they're on like the do not fade list for me, along with the Orioles. I don't fade. I try not to fade the Orioles because the market always seems to be wrong on the Orioles when it's time to fade them. They always come through. So no action for me here. I definitely lean the Giants.
I think I move on them. I think I move on the Giants here. They're raking lefties. They have who they think is their best pitcher on the mound. I know Christopher Sanchez coming off a nice start, but I just feel like the risk reward here is fair. So the plus money, it's just this all makes sense to me. Line time on Giants money line plus 115. Robert Franklin says back on the Giants money line. TJ says the sweep doesn't bother you. Factors in for me. I don't want it to get involved. I mean, we just watched the Cards sweep the Orioles.
I saw a stat that said this is the first 3-game losing streak for the Phillies since last September. I was like, wow, okay. It's very interesting, I guess. It's been a while. Dodgers were in a shit spot as well. They've been losing games a little bit as well. So, I mean.
Yeah, they turned that around yesterday. But, yeah, no, I mean, should it bother me more, TJ? I mean, should it bother me? I mean,
it bothers me more that Troy Torrance is on the Phillies and the sharp trap is the Phillies, personally. So and Troy and Justin have just made a bet. I think they just got a stake bet. And Justin's saying any takers on Giants money line. Who wants to bet? Now Justin does run the bets in the chat. So shout out to Justin.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
By the way, Jimmy, I'm sure you missed this. I'm very highly leveraged in the Celtics stake wise. Dutch and Dabby both challenged me to stake bets on the impending Maverick Celtics series.
Yeah, I just want to watch Game 6 in Dallas. That would be a lot. That would mean a lot, and that would be put me in a nice financial spot. Okay. It's a grilled cheese bet. It's Howtown 101. I'm interested in the Giants, but I'm not going to move for sure on them, but I'm very interested in moving on them. Let's roll on. Let's roll on about the aforementioned Dodgers here. And again, we'll have a Dabby Cab back in business for Padres Marlins, which is the game after this. 4:10 p.m. Eastern with the Los Angeles Dodgers, 35-22, 16-11 on the road. The New York Mets, 22-32, 11-18 at home. We're at Citi Field in Queens, New York. We will start with the weather in Queens, 75 Fahrenheit, 5.6 miles per hour in, sticks at 5.6 throughout. Then we'll get into the line history for this spot. Paxton versus Peterson. We have the Dodgers at minus 107. They opened up at minus 125. 17 cents of movement the opposite way, plus 116 to minus 101 for the New York Mets. 18 cents of movement away from the Dodgers. So a huge move towards the New York Mets and David Peterson, who we've not seen in a long time. From a total standpoint, this opened up at 8.5. It got up to 9. Spent a lot of time at 9. It's back at 8.5. 4 cents of movement towards the over. When we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have 83% of tickets, 83% of cash on the over. And on the money line, we have 75% of the tickets and 95% of the cash on the Dodgers. Just a ludicrous amount of cash on the Dodgers and an unbelievable market move towards the Mets. Paxton, 5-0, 3.49 ERA. His numbers are not... that is not a fair reflection for how he's pitched. If you want to just put a line through the 5-0 and 3.49 ERA, he's got a 1.43 whip. He has 28 strikeouts and 28 walks in 49 innings. His last start at the Reds, 5 earned runs. And he's not been very good on the road. 4.10 ERA, a 240 opponent's batting average. Now he's 3-0. David Peterson, on the other hand, will be seeing for the first time this season. He had surgery for a torn labrum in his left hip in the offseason. So opened up on the 60-day IL. He was bad last year. 5.03 ERA, 1.57 whip. Was that affecting him? His last rehab start, he looked very good. 5 1/3 scoreless. 5 hits, didn't walk a batter. That was at Double-A Binghamton. And shout out to Justin McKelvey gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. JT Eel getting it. I love it. Wine Time says the market and line is telling us everything we need to know about this game. JP says Mets tend to lose despite market moves. TJ says Paxton's the worst pitcher on the slate per xFIP, xERA, xSierra. And shout out to Old E gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership, and Beavis Rogers picks from Beavis getting it. I love it.
Beavis. I still don't know whether to take that guy seriously, but shout out to Beavis.
Absolutely, shout out to Beavis. So here we go. The Dodgers smash lefties. 273, 782 OPS. The Mets are abysmal against lefties. 225, 654 OPS. The Dodgers bullpen 3.17 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, converted 17, 23 save opportunities, been good all year. Same with the Mets, 3.55 ERA, 1.33 WHIP. Now the back end's been a problem at times, converting 12 to 22.
Oh my gosh.
Take it away for us, Jose, because I can understand. Josh says that's fool's gold. A market move is no prediction of an outcome of a game. Yeah, we know that you don't care about the market movements, Josh. And shout out to Wine Time Sports, gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership, and Joshua Alexander getting it. This is wild. This is a wild market move. It's a monstrous market move. My instinct is to say that, yes, at plus 117, plus 115 against Paxton, this is a bet that should be made. At minus 101, I don't know if that's the case. Take it away for us here, Jose. Dodgers Mets.
This is a tough game, and unfortunately, I'm on the Mets. I mean, the market move is too irresistible for me. Peterson coming up on a day where you're facing the Dodgers, and I think the Dodgers are kind of in a rut spot recently. Obviously, coming back and winning game 1 helped them yesterday. Maybe that got them out of it. But, yeah, I'm on the Mets. I took them minus 102, so not the best line either as well. And, Jimmy, you heard me groan because I just realized I'm putting my hands in the Mets again, bullpen-wise, because I think I've lost like 3 or 4 Mets bets on their bullpen just blowing it recently. And it's been incredibly frustrating. But I just the Dodgers are kind of like my Rangers team from last year, Jimmy. The team that everyone thinks is really good, gonna do all these things, but I really think the Dodgers aren't going to win the World Series this year, which does not a stretch to say. And I think that they're in a rut right now. Obviously winning 2 in a row yesterday helped, but I think the overall form is more indicative. So Mets money line for me on this, and God bless you, David Peterson. God bless you.
And we talk about the Dodgers having an advantage in the bullpen, but off of a doubleheader, that advantage gets neutralized a bit with both teams coming off a doubleheader. I mean, who used more important pieces? I mean, it looks like the Mets used a ton. I mean, what can you give us a look at the? I think we should do here is, and I can understand Josh saying, Jose, stop betting the Mets, they're trash. I can understand all that, but here we know that Paxton's numbers are worse, much worse than is indicative of our simple statistics. You go to xFIP and xERA and all that, and that's where you find it out. We know that the market agrees completely with that, with this huge move towards the Mets. They think that Paxton's very vulnerable. So I don't know why we don't just cut it down to 5 innings here with Peterson, should be ready to roll. Berkey in the house says, Dodgers looked amped up when they won the first game of the doubleheader yesterday. Carried that energy in the second game. Does it continue today? I don't know. Says, I don't know.
Go ahead and finish that. Go ahead and finish that last part.
You can.
I know, Berkey, I already screenshotted that. That goes in the tickler file of nice comments, Berkey. So thank you, Berkey. I do look good today. Thank you. My hair has grown out a little bit, so it's less flat toppy, I guess. But yeah, Jimmy, by the way, I do indeed have I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 comments on my desk or my dashboard, desktop, whatever the fuck it's called, of just nice comments that people leave. So I do screenshot them and keep them. What am I going to do with them? I don't know.
Top Set says first 5 over, both pitchers get touched. Yeah, I get it. I just think it's strange that Pinnacle move it back to 8.5 with all the money on the over. doesn't appeal to me. I do think we can move on this, though. I do think this all makes sense to me. First five.
And by the way, I over-exaggerated the number of nice comments. Obviously, I don't get...
Oh, it's something. That's something. I get it. I think that we attacked Paxton.
I'm on. Yeah, I mean, I think he struggles today. I feel like I've seen this every year. Well, specifically last year with Paxton. He starts off really good. He's healthy. And then eventually he starts wearing down slowly. They're going to put him on the IL. He'll come back, look better, wear down again. It's kind of this thing. You just can't pitch as many innings as he once could.
And TJ has Mets first five on his card. Yeah, I think this is appealing to me. I can understand Josh saying, you're going to bet on the Mets, you're going to lose. I get it. I just think that Paxton has to be vulnerable here. Has to be, especially on the road. Things will come back to haunt him. Let's just take a quick look at, very, very quick look at batter versus pitcher here, and then give us a better idea of if we want to.
I will admit, watching the Mets when I had that team total on them yesterday really made me understand why Mets fans hate this team so much. They're just so fucking gutless, and it's very annoying. So shout out to that. And by the way, shout out to Justin. He said highlight his stacks or he's gonna roast me, and I don't want my teeth put on blast again. So stacks play of the day over 1.5 bases for JD Martides, plus 118. Shout out to Justin. And you're right, Stacks is on fire recently.
He is. He's rolling nice. Picks from Dave in the house as well. So a batter versus pitcher against Peterson. Mookie is 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Freddie Freeman rakes, 333 average with 2 jacks, 4 RBIs, 15 at bats. And then the weaker parts. Ohtani 1 for 4 with a double.
That makes me feel a little better. And he's hurt playing as well, so he's been neutralized a little bit. Not really. By the way, Jeffrey Moore asking about early look or early action. We're on the Padres. The Tigers, Pittsburgh game 1, first 5 under 3.5. I'm on it, and then St. Louis team total over 4.5. I don't know what time that game starts.
That starts in 40 minutes. I'm looking for a live over in that Tigers game that starts in 6 minutes. So we'll be watching it as we go. So I'm on Cards first 5 in full game, first 5 plus 105, full game plus 110. And I'm on the Diamondbacks at plus 121. And then I'm interested in the Giants, interested in the Mets first 5. All right, let's roll on to our next spot and welcome back our guy, Safe. His family is safe from the tornado, but he switched locations. We are very glad that he is safe. We have Kelsey joining us in the chat. Says, have a great day, everyone. Let's win today. Let's win. And Dabby Cab, best bet number 2, my friend. Welcome back to the show. Miami Marlins, San Diego Padres. These Padres are very good on the road and bad at Petco Park in San Diego, California, where they're just 13-18 on the season. Marlins are bad everywhere. Braxton Garrett coming off an absolute thing of beauty. 9 innings, completo. 4 hits, 6 Ks, no walks, and a 3-0 win at Arizona. He'd not looked good in his first 9 2/3 innings of the season, and then he looked spectacular in that last one. Going up against Yu Darvish, coming off getting hit, 7 earned runs over 5 2/3, and 8-0 loss at home versus the Yankees. Now he has consecutive home losses, and that stopped 4 straight scoreless starts for Yu Darvish. 24 innings of those 4 straight scoreless starts, 10 hits, 24 strikeouts, 3 walks at home this year. Because of getting lit up by the Yankees, over 36 and 30 innings, he's 2-2 with 3.72 ERA, 35 strikeouts, 10 walks, 226 opponents batting average. Marlins hit 236, 653 OPS. You'd have to think this is a perfect spot for a bounce back. What are we going to get from Braxton Garrett after he was spectacular? That's the question. Because the Padres don't hit lefties, 224, 640 OPS, and he just shut down a team that does hit lefties. Marlins bullpen's been a little better of late, still poor in the back end, but 4.42 ERA, 1.38 whip, converting 9 of 20. Padres bullpen 3.46 ERA, 1.13 whip, converting 17 of 23. Topset says I'm laying the juice here. Darvish gets right versus these bums. Let's take a look at the weather here to get us rolling. In San Diego, 64 Fahrenheit, 7.3 miles per hour left to right, and slightly out. It stays between 7.3 and 7.9 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here. This total sitting at 7. It's minus 111 to the under. This opened up at 7.5, and it's heavily it just moved 5 more cents a minute ago. 1 minute ago, it moved 5 more cents, so it's now minus 116. So a huge move towards the under in this one. Volatility low here. And then on the money line, we have it Darvish sitting at minus 177, and he opened up minus 164. So we've had 13 cents towards Darvish in the expected bounce back spot. From a cash flow perspective, you have 89% of the tickets and 98% of the cash on the San Diego Padres, 9,037 tickets in. The market's moving towards them. And on the total, it's a 50-50 proposition, and yet it's moving so heavily to the under. 48% of tickets, 53% of the cash. Dabby Cab, take it away for us. Darvish at home in a possible bounce back opportunity. Floor is yours, my man.
It's such an interesting situation here, matchup wise, for the pitching, because you said it, Garrett's coming off, his best start of the season, probably will be his best start of the year this year. Absolutely just dominating performance. And Darvish got just taken out back and beaten by the Yankees last game. I mean, it was brutal. They were on him early and often the entire game. Long ball was in play. But that's kind of one of those things. Jose and I broke that game down on Say, and I kind of expected Darvish to give it up a little bit in that game, which is why I wasn't on him. For the most part, though, this season he's been sharp. Let's see. And other than that lineup against the Yankees, he's still got a good ERA on the season. You take that out, he's been outstanding. And this Marlins lineup is not, it's not the Yankees. They don't have that pop. They're hitting just 230 as a team on the season. They're 29th in baseball out of 30 teams in runs scored. They'd only put up 202 runs this year. They only have 44 home runs as a team, which Darvish is one of those people against a team like the Yankees. Like, I don't like getting on Darvish on teams that hit home runs because he's somebody that gives up home runs. But I'm not really worried about that here with the Marlins. All that being said, I'm leaning on the run line with the Padres in the first 5. I have not bet that yet. What I did take was their team total over. I think Braxton Garrett can have another good game. I genuinely do. But I still think the Padres can get 2 or 3 runs off of him. If he goes 6 innings and gives up 3 runs, that's a quality start. That's a good start. I think the Padres are their team total is a good bet here, especially because they're going to want to get behind Darvish. And they're going to want to put runs up to get him back on track. They need Darvish here to be their ace.
Yeah, I agree. It's just the volatility small. What was the number that you got?
Even money over 4. You can get like minus 129, minus 132 for 3.5. But I'll go ahead and take that even money at 4. No reason to be scared of a push here.
Padres team total over 4 for Dabby Cab. Jose, take it away. You're playing Marlins Padres.
No action for me. I expect Darvish to bounce back. Braxton Garrett having back-to-back good starts. It's kind of tough for me to believe. I just didn't want to move on the game, so I can keep it short and say pass. Joshua Alexander has a 10-unit play on Marlins plus 1.5 there.
Wow.
I think this is a 4-3 game. Padres coming off a shutout with an outlier performance, and Marlins bats will be active today, and Darvish isn't that consistent. So Joshua Alexander plus 1.5. What odds are you getting on that, Joshua? Let us know.
Wow, that's a very interesting one. That's minus 150 at Bet365. You'll get a lot better at Pinnacle. I wonder if the under 7 is in play here. The first 7 under 5.5.
Okay. And he got minus 145, so I guess it doesn't matter when you're betting 10 units. So
yeah, it does still matter, but I get it. Like if you're making a big boy bet, you can kind of handle the juice. The 5.5. Now I don't know if the Marlins bullpen's been better, and the Padres bullpen has been really good. So I don't know if you need to bother with the first 7.
No, I agree with everyone in the chat that says under, and that aligns with Joshua as well. If it's an under game, he's feeling good about his bet.
One thing that doesn't get said, I feel like enough here, Jimmy and Jose, is, so I get that Garrett had his greatest start of the season last game, going with the complete game, 9 innings. But he's been just subpar on the season overall in his 3 starts. And the Padres are one of the best hitting teams in baseball. That's something that people are remiss to say for some reason. we don't want to go there, but they are. They've got the 4th best batting average in the league. They've got the 6th best on base percentage. Their 8th most runs scored. They've just flat out been hitting the ball all year.
You're no concern against lefties. I mean,
sure.
The Marlins have better numbers versus righties than the Padres have versus lefties.
Sure, there's concern there, but I don't. When I look at numbers with lefties, I want a full season sample size. We're only 50 games in right now. I just don't feel like there's enough of a sample.
I feel you.
And for anybody who's like only 50 games, baseball is a long season. Okay, 50 games ain't as many as you guys think it is. We don't have a clue with how this is going to shape up by the end of the season yet. I promise.
Well, I mean, I think that we know that it'll either regress or progress to the mean, and for the Padres, that would mean hitting lefties a little better. So I can understand that. By the way, BJ in with his best bet. BJ's best bet: Oilers money line and Yankees on the run line. Oilers money line. I'd be very happy to see that come to fruition.
I know BJ doesn't have a basketball to bet on when he's taking 5 units on the Oilers. Shout out to you, BJ.
I get it from a situational standpoint.
Yeah.
I am. Sense. I mean, you guys know I've got the Panthers Oilers parlay for a unit at plus 179. I don't feel like minus 135 is very appealing right now after taking that punch. But I will have interest in the Oilers if they go down. That would be the only thing. And also, if it's a 0-0 first period, you know what? Actually, if it's a 0-0 first period, I might be a little more uncomfortable to take the live over rather than a 1-0 where one team is kind of, being hunted. But we'll talk all about that here. And Joshua Alexander saying that 135 not appealing at all. Joshua Alexander, we love hearing that max bet. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. So for those of you late to the party here, a 10-unit max bet from Joshua Alexander on the Marlins plus 1.5. I love it. Nasty Nate in the house. Devers, Homer, and Boston wins 11-1. So for Dabra Cadabra, you will be right back with us here in your next spot, which is Astros Mariners. So we will see you here shortly. But we have Dabby Cab on the Padres team total over 4 at plus 100, which combines with his Seager over 1.5 bases at minus 120. Dabby Cab, see you soon, my man.
Yep, be right back.
Next up for us is the aforementioned Boston Red Sox here. Boston Red Sox. By the way, Parlay Angel talking about Jeremiah Estrada. He always the son of his boy's pitching coach. Wow. Yeah, 15 straight strikeouts for Jeremiah Estrada, major league record. I can't believe they can't go back before 69 for those stats. But yeah, absolutely incredible.
Is that a horse racing guy? Oh no, I'm reading the wrong thing. Okay. Sorry, I was reading. I was like, is this a horse racing guy's son? And then I saw him, the son of my boy's pitching coach.
Yeah. You've seen that. AJ can pitch. Shout out to AJ, Parlay Angel's son. AJ can throw, man. It's like very, very, very exciting, and it's so expensive also. And Parlay Angel's got to take him all over, California and all over the western side of America. So keep doing you're fighting the good fight, Parlay Angel. Yeah. We love living vicariously through AJ. So please tell AJ we are all cheering for him here at Pub Sports Radio, and we believe in him. Shout out to AJ.
Tell him I'm only a little jealous because I've never hit a home run in my life. So makes me sad every day.
Coin says it's 13 straight games. Maybe it is. I thought he went 13, 14, 15 last. But I'm not sure what it exactly.
He's very good, and that's going to be the back. He's going to be in the back end of Mexico's World Baseball Classic team. Eventually.
He was a waiver pickup. Anybody could have picked him up. Anybody.
Yeah, crazy. And I don't associate the Padres with developing pitching either. So I wonder what had happened.
Well, let's talk about the Red Sox, who have been developing pitching. This Red Sox
God
bullpen,
bless you,
man,
Andrew Bailey.
3.36 ERA. This Red Sox bullpen, 1.23 WHIP. Now they've only converted 12 to 21 save opportunities, but they've been very good. We're in Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland for a really nice pitching matchup between Cutter Crawford and Corbin Burns. I was surprised to see the market moving towards the over. Let's take a look at the line history here. The weather. We'll start 66 Fahrenheit, 8.8 miles per hour left to right, slightly out. And then it's all over the map. It must be, it dies down. It's in, out, like it's all over the map. Let's get into the line history here for Red Sox, Orioles. Sorry, I got the first 5 up. Let's move over to full game. Red Sox, Orioles. We have this total at 7. It opened up at 8. Why did I think this was going to the over? Why did I think that? Opened up at 6:06 p.m. This was never going to. Was I tripping? I don't know why I was looking at this last night. And, Cutter Crawford, Corbin Burns. So this immediately went to 7.5 and then 7. I don't know why. Let's get into the money line here for this one. So we have a big move to the under. We have Corbin Burns at minus 189. Opened up minus 181. 8 cents of movement towards him. Let's get into the cash flow for this Orioles Red Sox spot. 94% of tickets, 93% of cash on the over. And on the money line, 81% of tickets, 71% of cash on the Baltimore Orioles. Just a monstrous move here. Billy Friedrich says Cutter going to get touched. Cutter coming off getting touched in a 7-2 loss at home versus the Brewers. 2.89 ERA, 1.20 whip on the year. On the road, he's been spectacular. 1.59 ERA over 28 and a third, 29 Ks, 11 walks, 219 opponents batting average. And then Corbin Burns at home has been spectacular. 1.99 ERA, 44 strikeouts, over 40 and 2/3 with 9 walks, 232 opponents batting average. He's coming off a quality start at the White Sox, 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks. Red Sox versus righties, 243, 725 OPS. Orioles versus righties, 233, 708 OPS. We're still waiting for those sticks to light up. Orioles bullpen has been good, 3.85 ERA, 1.17 whip, converting 18 of 29. Danny in the chat says made a parlay for the Tigers Pittsburgh game 1 under 7.5 and Tigers to win. It's the market's been moving towards the under. I'm a little worried.
Like the under, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the Tigers in this spot. We have a lot of the sharps in the chat here on Pittsburgh, but I'm looking to get that live over. That's already started out. What's gone on in that one to start?
And if it's going to be an under low scoring game, you'll be in it, Danny. So that's really all you can ask for.
Yeah, definitely. So they got through the top of the first there. So we have a live total at 6.5 minus 110 to the over. I'll be keeping a close eye on it. Twiz is on O's money line.
I'm glad you knew how to say that because I didn't.
I'm not sure how to say it. I'm sure it has to do with smoking bats, but I'll give it some more time. Mets first 5 minus 120 now, almost all across the board. Come on, TJ, don't say it. Are you serious? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Sorry, I'm gonna have to look at this. Oh no, you gotta be kidding me. Are you serious? Minus 105. It's still minus 105 on both for me. Okay, I'm gonna move on that right now. Thank you for the heads up.
I'll go ahead and go here though, and so you can make your bet if you'd like.
Thank you. Yeah, roll away.
Yeah, so Corbin Burns, I feel like, and I think TJ said it in the chat, dominates the Red Sox. So that's point one. I don't know if the Red Sox are going to be in this game. They won last night, and I said this yesterday, and the Red Sox won, but I'll say it again. I think the Orioles are just kind of a tough matchup for the Red Sox. 1 through 9, they just rake, and it's ugly. So I definitely think that he can, I don't know about shut him down, but I think he's gonna have a great game. Cutter is the real question mark here, coming off the worst start of his season so far, and he's been really good as well. 6 earned runs, like you mentioned, against the Milwaukee Brewers, just didn't have it. Looked uncomfortable immediately, and maybe he's hitting a little bit of a wall here. Maybe the Red Sox and people around the Red Sox have been talking about this recently. So the Red Sox came into the season with Andrew Bailey's new pitching methods, dominated. Then the league kind of adjusted. Now the Red Sox pitchers had to adjust again. The league adjusted again, and now the Red Sox pitchers have to readjust here. So it's constantly, a game and battle of all this stuff. So we'll see how Andrew Bailey and company handle the pitchers here. But Cutter has faced the Orioles earlier this year. 5 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 6 Ks, 4 walks. I just don't know if I can expect something like that again here. So in the face of all that under money coming through, I actually lean over. But I don't want to have any action on this game. And then, like we've seen throughout this whole, card and throughout this last few months, Jimmy, it feels like every game there's always a shitload of money in bets on the over. And we've seen a lot of them moving down, but it doesn't mean they're going to cash like our guy Josh Lowry says. So I stayed off this game. I lean over. And I think the Orioles do end up rolling.
That minus 105 for the Mets first 5 is available right now. It's minus 116 at Pinnacle, minus 125 at BetOnline.
I wonder what my local has right now.
That will be moving very quickly. And the Tigers have a man on third, so it doesn't look like
leadoff triple.
It doesn't look like we're going to get a chance at the live. It's now 1-0 Tigers.
All right, that was quick. By the way, my local has one at minus 120 already too. So,
wow.
And 3Ks for Scooble immediately.
And I had a boy Sharpie.
Yeah, I mean Sharpie said that the Pirates can't hit lefties, so I forget. Twisted 24/7, whatever it is.
Well, he said that they can't hit the best lefties.
Yes, and Scooble obviously is one of those best lefties, so I think he's going to be in it there with the Tigers.
Yeah, I know it's looking good here, but the live over is not. The opportunity is not going to become available. Okay, so at this point you are off of Red Sox Orioles.
Yeah, nothing for me here. We'll be interested to watch this game, obviously, but nothing. And
your lean was towards
over.
The under. Oh no, it was with the public on the over.
Yeah, I don't know. The bets are going down and such, but yeah, over. Shout to Mikey Money, by the way, who has alerted me to.
Oh, it's Twisted. Bet. It's Twisted 24/7.
Okay, thank you, Twisted. But Mikey Money has kind of alerted me that if we see, and obviously this opened up at an 8, not an 8.5, but if we see an 8.5 and it goes down to a 7.5, that we should probably just be betting the overs in those situations. Same things in those situations when we see like a 4.5 go down to a 3.5, they've been soaring over for whatever reason. So we'll try to keep that note mentally. Chat, obviously, since you heard that now, help me keep that note as well.
So what is your thought on Cutter Crawford after getting lit up at home by the Brew Crew?
That's the big concern. That's the thing I don't really know what to expect from. He shut out the Orioles earlier in the season, but I just think these Orioles bats are too good to get shut down in back-to-back days. They scored like, 2 runs yesterday, and I think that Crawford, good, but I don't know if he's good enough to shut down the Orioles in not back-to-back, but consecutive starts against them. So I guess I stayed off, but if I'm making a money line move, it's obviously Red Sox here because once Corbin Burns gets out the game, I think it's a roll of the dice. Then you said their bullpen numbers are good. I will not trust their bullpen until they get more bodies in there, and that's when I'll offer them Kenley Jansen. I offer anyone here Kenley Jansen. He's available. I've been saying this for months, and then the USA Today or whatever finally reported it. They should have cited my ass because I've been saying for months that he's been on the block, but whatever.
Wow. I wonder if you flip the switch instead of the live over, you move on a
live under.
Yeah.
What are you getting now? 7.5?
8.5. Oh. My ROI is negative when I flip on a live spot, but if Jones looks vulnerable, I don't know why that would change. I'm gonna let that go here, but it's all aggravating. Okay, that's Red Sox Orioles. So just a quick in review. I had to get that Mets minus 105, which is still available, I believe. Let me just for those of you who have 365. The Mets first 5, which went to minus 116 at Pinnacle, minus 125 at BetOnline, was still available at minus 105. We switch it over to first 5. It is still available. Wow. They do that quite often. They're just a little late.
Yeah, and shout out to Twisted for dropping in all his action. A new subscriber. Shout out to you, Twisted.
Yeah, Twisted 24/7, man. Respect. All right, let's roll on to the next spot on the board here. But I just did want to, just before we do, if Cutter Crawford is vulnerable, it feels like Corbin Burns isn't. Did you have any interest? You had no interest in backing the Orioles first 5 minus a half if Cutter's vulnerable because you think Cutter could bounce back?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and if this is a 0-0 and the whole thing. Yeah. So no, thank you.
So you think Cutter Crawford is a 3 ERA guy this year? Does he end the season?
I think he could be a high threes guy. High threes, maybe low fours.
Guy's been so good on the road. And so good on the road. Corbin Burns has been so good at home. You got 94% of tickets and 93% of cash on the over. And it's not moving towards the over. And yet your only interest was on that over.
Yeah, and by the way, obviously the Red Sox bullpen is ready to go. Chris Martin, Kenley Jansen, both having gone since Sunday, and they're the guys. So I expect them both to go today, and we'll see how long Cutter goes. But getting there is going to be interesting. To the eighth inning. So in the Red Sox ideal world, Cutter goes 6, and then they give it off to like Cam Boozer. And then he goes 7, and then Martin, Jansen 8 and 9.
And Sharpie concerned about rain. There's no reason to be. Oh, I guess 15% chance of precipitation, but I don't expect it. There's 8% precipitation. If you just look at only precipitation, 8%, and it builds throughout the night. So at 1 a.m. gets to 24, at 4 a.m. it's 50, and then it's going to be raining all morning tomorrow. But I don't think you need to worry at this point. Okay. And Burns, DraftKings not even offering Burns to record the win, but it's plus 135 at Heritage. I feel like this is a nice opportunity for both pitching staffs to deliver here. So I have interest in the full game under 7. I mean, I think it'll be telling if the Mets deliver, because the market is telling us here that they're just because the market's been so heavy towards them. And then here the market is so heavy towards the under with everybody on the over. And here I don't find it difficult to expect Cutter Crawford and Corbin Burns to deliver. So
and I think, like, again, a month ago I'd be on this under, no problem. It's a little PTSD from getting abused by them in this last month, probably.
Well, speaking of abuse, Joey Estes delivered a lot of abuse to you guys in that last start, but then the game went way over after he pitched well. And Ryan Pepio got me right in the bottom mouth in his last start, which was an 8-5 loss at home versus the Red Sox. And I like Pepio. And Pepio's being terrible at the Trop. But we're talking about 28 and 2/3 innings, so it's not, the sample size is so small, but he's been so bad at the Trop and so good everywhere else. And maybe he has, bad memories of pitching there when he was a Dodger. A's, Rays next up here at the Trop in St. Petersburg, Florida. Joey Estes, an unheralded prospect that we've talked about quite a bit. 3-0 Detroit. God damn.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That was just open sesame for me. I wanted the over. I just thought I would bet it live. Why did I do that? I don't understand why I would. Okay, whatever. I guess I'm just not trusting myself. First game of the day. TJ says Pepio has very good metrics. 0.98 whip over 40 and 2/3. I love Pepio. I think I expect him to make me money. And I was very upset with that last start. But maybe this will be much easier for him going up against the Oakland A's lineup. They're hitting 227, 689 OPS versus righties. Rays versus righties, 228, 649 OPS. It's tough when a pitcher is getting rocked like Jones is in the first inning, because it's 3-0 and that total is still at 8.5. Okay. Cards, Reds about to pop off as well, and I got no opportunity on that live situation. Makes me want to smash something, but it is what it is. All right. A's bullpen, very good. 3.36 ERA, 1.19 whip, converting 13 of 18. And the Rays bullpen has been better of late. 4.48 ERA now, 1.37 whip, converting 17 of 27. They were the worst bullpen in the league at one point. Let's get into the line history here for A's, Rays. We have this total at 8. It is at 8. It opened at minus 102 to the over. It's now minus 104 to the over, so 2 cents of movement towards the over. On the money line, we are sitting here with this at minus 184. Opened up at minus 174, so 10 cents of movement towards the Tampa Bay Rays. We get to the cash flow in this spot. 89% of tickets, 86% of cash on the over. Certainly not moving in that direction. And then 84% of tickets, 85% of cash on the Tampa Bay Rays, and a slight move towards them. TJ says, Sharpie says total is fat because Scooball ain't giving up but 1 run, if any, today. Yeah, you nailed that here. Bounce back spot for Scooball is just unfortunate. Nate Dog 420, you too, my friend. So take it away for us here, Jose. Oakland A's at Tampa Bay Rays.
No action here again for me. Pepio, I know you like him here, but again, I anytime Joey Estes walks in the room, Jimmy, I put my hands up. I get a little nervous. My hands start shaking. The PTSD of the abuse is real. I just couldn't get there with Estes here, and obviously I don't want to lay minus 170 or lay a run line with the Rays here. Troy saying that Rays are cash cow material, so shout out to that, but. I'll stay off here and I'll watch from the sidelines as hopefully you guys get your money.
I think Pepio delivers. I wonder if Estes.
Justin likes the minus 1.5 on the under.
I wonder if we need to fear Estes having an okay start here. Let's just go over these starts for Estes. Estes, not a highly thought of prospect coming up, but he's earned his opportunities here. Just 22 years old is Joey Estes. So that was his first home start, a better one. Now he looked good against Seattle, but Seattle's terrible. And Pepio to record the win.
I guess Pepio to record a win.
I have interest in the Rays. What would the Rays first 5 minus a half be right now? Because even the total going down is means there's a lower implied volatility, which makes me nervous on these first 5s minus a half. But it's still too expensive. I do not know. Troy Torrance says this may be his first record the win bet. Panger Life says Rays will cash. Topset says Rays feel like the right spot. Okay, I'm interested in the Rays first half minus a half, but I do feel like it's too expensive. And I do like Pepio, but he burnt me last time. I don't want that to keep me off. So we'll talk more about that here, because now we have to talk about Spencer Schwellenbach. Spencer Schwellenbach, who was, first baseman, a shortstop, and a pitcher. Now he is just a pitcher. He wasn't that good with the stick. He can get up to 98 miles per hour, a combined 1.80 ERA, 29.1% strikeout rate, 5.7% walk rate. In mostly high A. He had 6 starts in the high A and a couple starts in double A. So I don't think we should get too caught up in whatever he did in high A, because he was old for that level. But he has a 57.5% ground ball rate. Dominic Merrill says the A's have more runs than the Braves. Who would have predicted that start season? That's wild, Dominic. It's that is absolutely wild. And Rance says the Rays offense sucks. I hear you, Rance. I hear you. We have Mackenzie Gore going up against Spencer Schwellenbach. Schwellenbach was a second round pick in the 2021 draft out of the University of Nebraska. And in this season, we have only, where is he? Sorry. We've only seen him again in high A. It's weird. So we got those 6 starts in high and then the 2 starts in double A. The 2 starts in double A were fantastic, but still hard to trust him here. Going up against Mackenzie Gore, the Braves are hitting 255, 756 OPS versus lefties. And that's just 232, 679 OPS versus righties. And that's bullpen's been better than we all expected. 3.81 ERA, 1.33 whip, converting 14 of 22. Braves bullpen 3.26 ERA, 1.23 whip, converting 15 of 24. And, of course, the Braves still kind of mourning Acuna. This line opened up with the Braves minus 150. They're now minus 142. So we've had to move towards the Washington Nationals. And Schwellenbach, from a total standpoint here, we're sitting with this at 8. It opened up at 8.5. It opened up at 8.5 at 5:58 p.m. Last night it was at 9. Imagine those who have the over 9 when this just moved to 8.5, 40 or about 30 minutes ago. Marcus McCarthy in the house. Great to see you, my guy. Robert Franklin on the Nats money line. And same with DC Capper on the Nats money line. And Topset on the Nats first 5. So some love, real love for the Washington Nationals here in this one. We have 81 Fahrenheit, 12.3 miles per hour to left center. It dies down to 7 by the end of the game, but it's offensive weather. You have 88% of tickets and 80% of cash on the Braves. And on the total, you have 80% ticket, 79% cash on the over. Mackenzie Gore, Spencer Schwellenbach. Take it away, Jose. Nats, Braves.
Yeah, here's another bet that I wanted to make. Just couldn't get there ultimately with Nationals. I agree. I just don't know what Schwellenbach is going to give for us here. And Mackenzie Gore is coming off of a great 7-inning, 1-run, 1-hit performance. It was phenomenal. I just, don't love backing starting pitchers coming off of amazing starts like that. So no, thank you. I probably lean towards the Nationals, but nothing overall.
Huh. And what do you think about the under? It's wind's blowing out so heavy at first, but then it dies all the way down. Braves bullpen's been so good of late. What do you think of the full game under in this spot?
How many innings of Schwellenbach are we going to get is the real question here.
I mean, I think it depends on how he's capable of throwing. His arm's ready to go, but I mean,
he's gone 7. Yeah, his last 3 minor league starts have been solid. 7-inning shut, 6-inning shut, 4 2/3 shut. I don't know. It worries me. And by the way, those were in Double A and High A combined. So it worries me that we're going a guy pulling him straight up from Double A here. So yeah, I just can't get there ultimately. Definitely Nationals or pass. Because I think Schwellenbach might get crushed, and if he does get crushed, and we do see the Braves bullpen come early here, they're fully rested, ready to go. So the only guy that threw yesterday was Rafael Iglesias for 11 pitches, and he hasn't thrown in a long ass time. So I expect them to have a full bullpen day, but I just don't trust Schwellenbach. And if I wanted to bet the Braves, for example, I'd wait and see how Schwellenbach does in the first couple of innings and live bet the other side if they take a lead, or live bet the Braves to take the lead. The Nationals do, but it's just nothing here for me.
I have interest in the under. I don't know if I get there. And Schwellenbach, he started May 22nd, full rest, ready to go. 7 shutout innings. Morgan Spooner says hitters can skip AAA, pitchers cannot. We see a lot of the young studs skipping AAA.
Yeah, I think that's actually backwards. I think hitters can't skip AAA, but pitchers can, personally.
And Billy Friedrich says Braves have had a lot of good young arms for years. I'd be careful about fading Schwellenbach. They love Schwellenbach in the organization. Love him.
Have they had a lot of good arms for a lot of good years? I mean, Fried and Strider. I mean, do we trust guys like AJ Smith-Shawver? I never trust any of these Braves guys that come up. I was thinking about this the other day. They developed Strider. That was a great one, but after Strider and Fried, it's not been much, I'll admit. I guess Bryce Elder was okay last year. Now he's in AAA just languishing.
George Wood on the over 8. Let's talk about the next spot on the board here. We have Dabby Cab returning for the final game on today's card. But let's roll to the next spot. 7:40 p.m. Eastern, another opportunity to watch Shota Imanaga on the mound, a pitcher that I haven't had the opportunity to back here. A lot of you guys made so much money off him. 5-0, 0.84 ERA. I shouldn't say I had the opportunity. I just 0.91 whip, 58 Ks over 53 2/3. He's been spectacular. Coming off another shutout performance, but it was a late run to get them the win. 1-0 win at home versus the Pirates. 7 innings, 7 Ks. On the road, he's been unhittable. 0.38 ERA. He's just 3-0. Now, I shouldn't say unhittable, even that. 222 opponent's batting average, 26 Ks, 23 2/3. Bryce Wilson, big boy, being pretty good. 2.86 ERA, 1.16 whip. Last start, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 7 Ks, 1 walk, 7-2 win at the Red Sox. At home, he's been quite good. 215 opponent's batting average. And TJ says Imanaga cash train all year, baby. Cubs versus righties is 222, 673 OPS. Brewers smash righties, 261, 758 OPS. The Cubs bullpen 4.43 ERA, 1.37 whip's been a problem, while the Brewers bullpen 3.65 ERA, 1.27 whip, converting 18 of 24 have been quite good. BJ says, why the low price? I mean, we've been there's been little things in Imanaga's, starts that have kind of made me nervous that he was going to finally blow up, but he's not. And here's another one. This total opened up 7.5. First move was towards the under. It's got up to 8 a couple times. It's up 8 right now, minus 103 to the over. So we have a move to the over. Implied volatility, which you would think, well, that's got to be Bryce Wilson. It can't be the best pitcher thus far in the league, Shota Imanaga. And then we have the Cubs at minus 138. They open up at minus 129. Milwaukee smashes righties, but Shota's had good performances against good teams. Top set says got to score to win, so Brewers at plus money is his lean. So let's take a look at the cash flow then for this Cubbies spot. We have 86% of tickets, 85% cash on the over. It's moving in that direction. On the money line, you have 63% of tickets, 77% cash on the Chicago Cubs, and the line's moving in their direction. Take it away for us here. Jose, what's your move?
Yeah, I went back and forth on this. I wanted to bet the Cubs here. Milwaukee full season against lefties, 21st, 92 weighted runs created plus. Last few weeks, though, 12th, 107. So they've been doing a little better. But yeah, I think it's hard to fade Shota here. I think this is going to be an interesting game to say the least. I think this atmosphere in this game will be a fun one for sure, because obviously, again, Cubs, Brewers rivalry, Craig Counsell, et cetera, et cetera. 63% of the bet, 77% of the money on the Cubs. And there's been movement towards them, but I just don't think – I think it's, one, going to be too juice for me to bet. And two, I think the Brewers are pretty good. So I think it'll be a stay-off game for me.
My apologies for giving the numbers against righties. Of course, Shota lefty. So thank you for taking care of that, Jose. Look, I always have this fear of being, late to the party and early to the funeral, and it keeps me off winning plays. So
yeah, I've gotten over that fear, but I definitely am early to the funeral at times, Jimmy. We'll look at the Garcia method as one of the prime examples for them. But yeah.
Yeah, well,
have you calculated your latest Garcia method stats recently, by the way?
I didn't do it over the last few days. It's not been good. And I mean, even the only reason why I turned a profit last night was because I was actually on the under, because the player props for me went 8-8. Joe Yurkovich has locked in the Giants at plus 115. TJ says, I don't see any analytics that point to a blow up for Shota. Huh. All right. No action for us in Cubs Brewers, but I fear I'm just leaving money on the table nonstop. George Wood on the Cubs first 5 minus a half. JP Taylor says Cubs first 5. All Shota needs is a run. Okay, let's talk about the next spot on the board here. 7:40 p.m. Eastern. Kansas City Royals 34-22, 13-14 on the road at Minnesota Twins, 30-24, 15-12 at home. Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Man, Lugo and Ober. Lugo has been so good this year. 34-year-old, and he just keeps delivering.
He might start the All-Star game for the American League.
Unbelievable. He just keeps delivering. Let's take a look at the weather here in Minnesota. 70 Fahrenheit, 7.2 miles per hour in, right to left, slightly in. Let's get into the line history for this one. We have Lugo and the Royals at plus 120. They opened up at plus 116, so 4 cents of movement towards the Minnesota Twins. And when we get to the total, we are sitting here with a 7.5 minus 116 to the under, 8 cents of movement towards the under. When we get to the cash flow for this one, 63% of the tickets and 77% of the cash is on the. 24% of the tickets and 45% of the cash is on the Kansas City Royals, and then 61% of tickets, 58% of cash is on the over. I can understand why anybody would want to back Seth Lugo here. He's been unhittable on the road. 5-0, 0.75 ERA, 36 strikeouts, 36 innings with 7 walks, 145 opponent's batting average. For Bailey Ober, he's not been that good this year. 4.33 ERA, 1.04 whip. He's been a little unlucky, and he's been very good at home. 2-0, 2.57 ERA, 25 Ks in 21 innings with a 167 opponent's batting average. Neither team can hit righties. You could say the Royals can, 243 average, but not a ton of power with 706 OPS. And the Twins versus righties, 219, 684 OPS. They started raking after that horrible start, and then they completely stopped. Both bullpens, I believe, are trustworthy. Royals bullpen, 3.98 ERA, 1.40 whip. 17 of 24 converted save opportunities, while the Twins bullpen 3.85 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, converting 19 of 27 save opportunities. GH on Kansas City -1.5. Clark Edge is hard to fade. Lugo and Ron Crawford, Royals spreadsheet dog, not the dog of the day, but a Royal spreadsheet dog. Billy Friedrich says Royals good historical numbers versus Ober. Take it away for us here, Jose. Royals, Twins.
Yeah, I think this is a royal spot, honestly, even though the line's moving rapidly to the Twins. So I stayed off this game. Yeah, Seth Lugo has just been phenomenal. And
You have rapid line movement?
I have this movement at, let me see here. This opened up at -117 and now -130. So 15 cents almost basically for me. And then Bovada opened this up at -135 up to -138 or -136, excuse me. So just Bet Online seemingly has moved it up that much. But yeah, I still like the Royals though. So maybe that makes me feel a little better about them. But I think this is just a good like dog price for maybe a better pitcher here and two teams that are close, and I said the other day that if the Royals took care of the Rays, that I'd take them seriously, and they did. And I'm taking the Royals very seriously now. So it's dog or nothing for me here in the Royals game, and I'm going to stay off. Another one of those bets where if I was, I'll track it, see how it does, and if I was feeling better, I'd be on it, but no action.
The line move at Pinnacle tells a very different story. It opened at 6:07 p.m. So what Jose's talking about with Bet Online coming out earlier, the move was towards the Twins. At Pinnacle, it's opened up at 6:07 p.m. and there had not been a move towards the Minnesota Twins until an hour and 45 minutes ago. So
interesting.
Yeah, it tells a very different story, but it's always, up to you which books you want to focus on and, how you want to handle things. So let's take a look at the, I find the under appealing in this spot, and I would probably prefer to focus on the first 5 under. I like both these pitchers. I think both these pitchers should be able to deliver here.
It's funny, both these bullpens are good, and I still don't really trust them either.
And Palante walking a batter right off the hop here, the top or the bottom of the first. God, I fear trusting Palante.
Dabby Cab likes Royals team till over 3.5.
Joe Yeager says the total is already low. I mean, Ober's just been so much better at home than he's been on the road. What would I get? I just like to take a quick look at the first 5 under, and then we'll move past this spot here. I like Lugo a lot. I think that Ober is better than his numbers indicate.
I was going to ask you, Jimmy, at the end of the year, would you be surprised if Bailey Ober and Seth Lugo had similar numbers? Because I kind of wouldn't. I think Bailey Ober is good enough to drop his ERA down to like high 3s, low 4s. He's a 4.33 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's all in the cards.
Lugo has a 1.74 right now. And career-wise, he has a 3.32 ERA. So if he went to his career ERA, and I think Bailey Ober can get down there. So, yeah. But obviously, this is all just hypothetical stuff.
Londo says, what do you think of the Oilers-Yankees parlay? Good idea. I mean, I parlayed the Oilers with the Panthers last night to get a plus money spot today, so I wouldn't feel the need to hammer away. So if you can find a spot to put with the Oilers that you're really confident in and give you a plus money spot, I get it. Again, though, it's not the best opportunity for a parlay action because I think -1. I think they should be -120. I think it should be -120 plus 100. So I think the first 5 under 4 is what I want in this one. I think Lugo and Ober both pitch well. And
I expect Lugo regression in the second half later in the season.
Yeah, he's 34. We should see some arm fatigue. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm figuring there, top set.
Let's move on to 7:40 p.m. Eastern. Very interesting start at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago, Illinois. And Alek Manoah has looked excellent at home. Where he's not being mocked viciously.
He's not being blocked viciously at home. Slats, he's not on his ass there.
Oh, a lot of talk. You don't need to find something else, Londo. We're going to talk about that Yankees spot here. That's an interesting spot. That's the one. Sorry, that was in my head where I had initially thought Heel versus Anderson. That's the one that went to the over. That surprised me. I'm not sure what's at now, but it went to the over last night. So Luis Heel has been absolutely spectacular. So we'll talk about that spot, and then a lot of talk about Ober getting touched up by the Royals. I don't care if it's the first start of the season. It doesn't even really. To me, it's not reflective as to what would happen here. So much so that I didn't mention it. First start of the year. I just I don't.
If anything, I think that bodes better for Ober. I think to try to get back some revenge, he probably remembers that start.
It does not bother me at all. It doesn't make me think that the Royals have his number or anything like that. But I can understand if there's complete autonomy with how you want to handle things. And JP Taylor just had the Kansas City first 5 plus 112 here. So let's roll on to this Jays White Sox spot, because I do feel like Manoah should be faded on the road. The problem is do you trust Chris Flexen? And everybody has every right not to trust Chris Flexen.
This was another team total spot for me, Jim, if I can interject real quick. Sure. I definitely sat there and I thought, I want to fade Manoah, and a team total for the White Sox doesn't seem so bad. I didn't make it official. I haven't made it as a bet yet. I have one more bet on the card on the last game that I would like to talk out, but I definitely went back and forth with this team total to try to avoid the sexy flexy nonsense. 3.5 minus 105.
Billy Friedrich says he's smashing Flexen under 15.5 outs at minus 170. I think that number is telling. And, there's no angle. Like, I kind of like him, Chris Flexen. If you've heard him interviewed, they love him in the room and all that in the clubhouse. But I know that doesn't deliver anything positive. But his last start at home against the Orioles, the Jays are hitting 234, 696 OPS versus righties. I'm not sure what the market's been doing, but I have interest in fading Manoah here. I think the risk reward is right. We know something's wrong with him, and it's up here. Something's wrong with him. He's just, doesn't mean he can't get right. It doesn't mean any of that, but the mess he's been in over the last year is real. Crystal Craig, here's perfect. The Jays fan watches Manoah all the time, says, torn on this game, want to take the over. Jays should hit flex and then can't trust Manoah even against the White Sox. So Manoah off that 6-2 loss at the Tigers, he got lit up. Now only 4 earned runs, but 6 runs overall. TJ saying flexing only over 15.5 outs and 2 of 9 starts. So why would they put him at that? Now, I think that's fair with the minus 170 to the under. So the Jays bullpen continues to struggle. I continue to look foolish saying that how much better than they are than their numbers indicate. 4.92 ERA, 1.38 whip, converting 12 of 18. And I can understand nobody trusting Flexen. I just think if the risk reward is right, I would like to, honestly. So let's take a look at the situation here. We'll start with the money line. Get over to full game money line. It looks like got out of it. Okay, beautiful. All right, so back to this spot here with the Jays. We're sitting here with the White Sox at plus 159. They opened up at plus 151, so there's been 9 cents of movement towards the Blue Jays. I don't have to move on this too. I don't have to, play a hunch here. From a total standpoint, we have an 8.5. This opened up at 8.5. It quickly went to 8, got back up to 8.5. Still, we've had 4 cents of movement on the under. And let's go. And yes, Mikey Money, I understand that you were somehow shocked that Gausman is an elite pitcher in Major League Baseball. But it's been it's added a little bit more joy watching Gausman shove. We have 57% of tickets, 53% cash on the over. And on the money line, 87% of tickets and 95% cash on the Jays here. And TJ says, here's something to consider. Flexing over 2.5 earned runs is -160. Manoah under 2.5 runs, -165. No, I said elite. I know he's elite, Mikey Money. I know that he's an elite pitcher, my friend. I know that you didn't say elite. You said he was terrible. You called him gas can.
Still thinks that.
I know he does, and I hope he doesn't. It will cost him. His wallet will pay the consequences. So, take it away for us here, Jose. Do you see any angles that you want to attack?
Yeah, I wanted to bet a team total here for the White Sox here, Jimmy. But here's your fun fact of the day: the White Sox are on pace to being the worst team offense we've seen in the wild card era in baseball. They have a team OPS of 73 OPS plus. The worst in wild card era is a 90 by the Colorado Rockies in 2018. By the way, second is the Atlanta Braves, tied for that 90, 2012. So both those teams exceedingly awful. The White Sox aren't even fucking close to those teams right now offensively. It's been horrific, and that's kind of why I'm off of it. They've just been so bad, and it's been tough to back them. And I thought I saw Joe Yurkovich say they're about to go 0-7 on the homestand if they lose this game. So that's particularly horrific as well. White Sox against righties. Excuse me, this is lefties. Let me switch to righties real quick. White Sox versus righties in the last few weeks, dead last, 68 weighted runs created plus. They're just bad. And, this is a team that if Manoah doesn't shove against the White Sox, then it's bad. It just cannot be done. So I'm off this game. I wish it was any other team Manoah was facing, and I would be on a team total or fading him here, but it's not for me here.
Yeah, I think you guys are right saying that the market's indicating Manoah has a good start. And I don't think I'm getting the right risk reward to fade it.
This is a rare, I'd rather potentially, if I had to make a bet on this game, I'd take a first 5 -0.5 and just eat whatever juice it is. It's -115, so it's not actually that bad. But that would be the only play I have. But then you also have to rely on the Blue Jays bats coming through for us, and they have not been good. By the way, Jimmy, I saw I was listening to a podcast that was talking about Vladdy. Everyone in Toronto, it feels for me that everyone in Toronto is saying that he sucks this year, et cetera, and he's having arguably his second best year of his career this year, and I thought it was pretty shocking. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And the issue, obviously, he's not hitting for power; he's hitting like a Luis Arias right now, but. Very interesting to see that, and it's interesting to see those numbers.
4 players on our team are sons of Major League Baseball players. They're fine, but hitting 500, going back to their fucking mansions that they grew up in, and they don't give a fuck. Fuck them. I just, we're like, oh God, this Blue Jays team has no offense. Well, where's Lourdes Gurriel and Teoscar Hernandez? I mean, it's just absolute trash. Absolute trash. Trade all those guys. Keep Varsho if you want, but trade Bo, trade Vladdy. We have the 26th ranked farm system. I mean, who do you blame for that? I mean, I just can't believe that these guys still have jobs and we let Anthopoulos go. It's just this Blue Jays team. I'm starting to despise. But. Raiders, where's Shannon Stewart? Damn, I like Shannon Stewart. He was a good ball player, man. He gave it his all. All right, let's roll on. I don't think there's a risk reward to fade Manoah here, and BJ saying Blue Jay spot. Yeah, I get it. Is Manoah going to start pitching well on the road? I'd like to see that.
This would be the start. This is the worst offense we've seen in quite a long time, so this has to be the start if it's going to happen.
Our guy Raider saying Corey Koski coming home. I wouldn't mind that either. All right, let's move on. 8:40 p.m. East. I cannot believe the decisions we made. We had a really good baseball team.
Yes, you did. Yeah, you guys had an offensive team for the generation.
We had a really good ball club. A really good ball club that could have been good for a while.
Shout out to Josh Donaldson.
And they all liked each other too. Now they maybe took it a little. They had too much fun in the clubhouse when they were losing. But what do you expect from these silver spoon rich kids? I mean, you think they're going to be upset when they're losing? They don't care. Cleveland Guardians 37-18, 19-12 on the road at the Colorado Rockies, 19-35, 12-14 at home. We're at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado, and we have reached the spreadsheet dog play of the day from our guy Ron Crawford, and it is these Colorado Rockies and Ty Block, my block, Ty Block. Shout out to Scarface too. We have two lefties on the bump here this evening. In Colorado, the thin air of Colorado, it is 76 Fahrenheit, 10.1 miles per hour in, dies down to 7.3 miles per hour. Logan Allen, Ty Block. Let's get into the line history here for this one. This total is sitting at 11. Sitting at an 11. This opened up at 11, even money to the over. It's now minus 108 to the over, so we have 8 cents of movement to the over. Let's get to the money line here in this one. From a money line standpoint, this is sitting with the Rockies at plus 130. They opened up at plus 134, so a slight move towards these Colorado Rockies. Let's get into the cash flow here. From a cash flow perspective, we have 19% of tickets, just 11% of the cash on the Rockies line moving towards them. Then we have on the total, sorry, where did that just go? There we go. 60% of tickets, 64% cash on the over, 8 cents of movement to the over. Then we'll talk about these two starters. Logan Allen, 6-2, 4.89 ERA, coming off okay start at the Angels, 5 2/3, 3 earned runs, 2 jacks, 7 Ks, 2 walks. He's been much better on the road than he's been at home. On the road, 4-2, 3.21 ERA, 33 2/3, 29 Ks, 9 walks with a 267 on opponent's batting average. Ty Block on the other end, coming off a really nice start at home versus the Phillies, so he's got back-to-back home starts. You could look at his numbers and say they're bad, but he's been good at home. 3.48 ERA. Now, he's just not going to get strikeouts. He needs to get the soft contact, which he's been getting. 7 strikeouts in 20 2/3 at home, 12 strikeouts in 27 2/3 overall. He's only throwing 7 innings on the road. All his starts are coming at home, and he's pitching okay there. Guardians do smash lefties, 259, 787 OPS. Rockies don't, 249, 696 OPS. Guardians bullpen the best in baseball, 2.62 ERA, 1.01 whip, converting 20 of 29. Rockies bullpen the worst in baseball, 5.20 ERA, 1.62 whip, converting 11 of 18. Take it away for us here, Jose. Guardians, Rockies.
Yeah, stay off game for me. I was on the other side of Ty Block's good start last time out, and I got fucked by it. So I didn't want any action on it. I'm surprised that a soft contact pitcher is thriving in Coors, where I thought the ball would go out a little more, but it's working out for him right now. There's no action, though, for me. The people, or should I say TJ in the chat, saying that both teams hit lefty surprisingly well this year. I'd probably lean over in a sneaky spot here, maybe like Wine Time saying, but I didn't want to do anything here, so no action for me.
Our guy Donut Silks in the house. His Guardians on fire. Love this team. We are 10 days away from the Belmont Stakes, hosted by Razor, myself, right here. I can't wait. So, JP Taylor saying Block will get his block knocked off.
English is such a fucked language, man. How is BLACH and BLOCK the same thing? That's fucking crazy to me. God damn English.
Huh. And Beavis Rogers picks says Raising Cane's Buffalo Tenders combo pick of the day, Cleveland Guardians money line and run line. Says thank you to hosts, chat, and the troops. Uncle Beavis. Here. Donut saying Belmont Field's going to be stacked. It's going to be great. I just wish it was the test of a champion. I mean, you can't go to a mile and quarter. I mean, it should still be a mile and a half. I mean, what? We'll deal with that. End of 3. Still. Detroit up 3-0. So that live 8.5 was a nice spot. Now it's right back to that 6.5. And both pitchers shoving in Cincinnati.
Please, dear God, just hold on. Hold on for 5 innings, guys. Please. Oh, God.
Clark Edge says, when's the Atlantic City trip? I'm out here daily. Summertime beach, women, beers, 24/7. I would love that to get into the conversation. I think maybe we should start putting something together. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do it this year, but I don't see why we wouldn't start planning it. I think it's a great idea. Great idea. All right. Logan Allen, tie block, and we have no action here for either of us. I have a, Wine Time has got a 2-unit look on the over 10.5. This line's moving towards the over.
Where's that guy Steve G at? What's the record at Steve G? I need to know what the Rockies record is at. I always love looking at those.
All right, yeah, I don't know what to do with that spot. I don't find it appealing. I think there's a lot of clearly it's highest total on the board. So there's a ton of volatility. Let's go to 9:38 p.m. Eastern. New York Yankees, LA Angels, Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. My initial thought was Heels being the best pitcher in the league. I mean, I guess Shota has something to say about that, but I don't know of a better pitcher over the last few starts other than Shota. Heel, who we didn't even know if he deserved the spot in the rotation, has been unhittable. Coming off another spectacular start at home over Seattle. He's been a little, his K to walk ratio is probably not where he wants it on the road, but still 172 opponents batting average, a 3 ERA there. And Tyler Anderson's been excellent. 2-1 win at Houston. We know what they do against lefties. He's been so good. He's been good at home, good on the road. He's been good everywhere. And the Yankees don't hit lefties. 244, 698 OPS. Joe Yerrick says market's moving towards the Yankees.
TJ, I was literally just thinking that same damn thing. Who the hell are the Yankees going to kick out of this starting rotation here soon?
And Wine Time says he was on the under in this game last night. Might get back there tonight with the under. That was my plan until I saw the line moving to the over, which made no sense to me, except for the Angels bullpen being disappointing. So let's take a look at the weather. 66 Fahrenheit, 8.4 miles per hour to straightaway center. Dies down to 6.7 miles an hour. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. Line history-wise, we have the Angels sitting at plus 183. They opened up at plus 157. Just a monstrous 30-cent move towards the New York Yankees with Luis Heel. Just a huge move.
Yeah.
From a total standpoint here, we are sitting with a 8.5. This opened up at an 8, and within an hour and 9 minutes, it moved to 8.5. Then it went back to 8, and it was at 8 all morning, and then back to 8.5. So we still had this move. It moved back to 8.5, 38 minutes ago. We still have a move to the over, which doesn't make sense. BJ says he's all over the Yankees here. Let's get into the cash flow for this one. 45% of tickets, 44% cash on the over. 84% of tickets, 97% cash on the Yankees. Maybe it's moved into cash cow spot. TJ says Heel's metrics match his surface stats. Anderson's are much more concerning. More regression for Anderson by far. And the Rocks fade train 31-14 plus 24.5 units. And Ron Crawford saying Gulf Coast, Biloxi, white sand beaches, and legal casinos. That does sound very nice. And 1-0 cards. Why are you saying damn? Let's fucking go, baby. Take it away for us here, Jose. Yanks, Angels.
Yeah, I think I said TJ. I'm very interested to see who they're going to kick out. I think it is going to be Nasty Nestor. I think Nasty Nestor is going to get the boot. And if the Yankees were smart, they would trade Nestor Cortez for more offense. But I don't want to give them any ideas. Yeah, I stayed off this game, though. Maybe you can look at like a team total or something for the Yankees here. I saw someone put in a -1.5 for them. But I didn't want any action on this game. Yeah, like I said, I have one more play on the card, and it's coming up here soon. But I ultimately just don't want to try to fade my guy Luis Heel. And Jimmy, by the way, I need to put this in my mental bank. I feel like so many some of these fringe starting pitchers have come through, like that fifth guy in the rotation that's battling his ass off for spot in the rotation. Luis Heel is definitely one of those guys because he got put in the rotation because of the Garrett Cole injury, and he knows he has to pitch his fucking ass off to stay there. Reynaldo Lopez, another guy just like that. He's been pitching phenomenally all year. He had his first rough start last time out. So I just need to keep an eye out on those guys as well. But I didn't want any action on this game. I expect the Yankees to roll.
Joe Europe says Anderson should be respected as a big home dog. you know, I've handled Shota poorly. I've handled Luis Gil poorly. I don't know, and now I'm hesitant when the market is moving towards the over when it doesn't make sense. I think TJ has it nailed that they're expecting regression from Tyler Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, of course. The Angels would love to ship Tyler Anderson right out of there in the trade deadline.
Oh, and I'm sure they'll have a lot of takers. I get this 30-cent move towards the New York Yankees, but the Yankees aren't hitting lefties, so I mean I don't know why I would be having nice here as he's on the Angels. BJ saying Anderson getting hammered. I mean that's what the market is saying, he's going to get hammered. And also the Clark Edge looking to hook up with Ron Crawford over in Biloxi, get together a sports book, have some drinks, make some money. I love that so much. So
I like how you say Biloxi. I like how you say that.
How do you say it?
Biloxi.
How do I say it?
Biloxi.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you're taking some oxys there or something. But BJ, are you on the money line? Correct, BJ? I'm assuming you're laying the juice because you obviously, again, big boy bets. Juice doesn't really mean nothing to you. But yeah.
Justin McKelvey on the over 4.5 team total.
Makes sense.
Oh, okay. And we'll see what happens here in this Cardinals red spot. But I am telling you, I've been watching Montas, who I like. And the second time through the order, he gets barreled.
Yeah, he was one of your original guys this season, and then you quickly released him.
Yeah, well, soft toss Montas.
He got replaced by like Clark Schmidt or actually no, it was Griffin Canning that replaced him this year. Who pitched well? Yes, last night. Were you on him?
No, I didn't make no. I needed.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, I thought of you yesterday. He pitched well.
Yeah, I was staring at
total,
Canning too.
so.
I was watching him closely. I just needed a little regroup here. 9:40 p.m. Eastern. We have our final game on the board, and we welcome back the Magic Man for this spot, coming to us from Dallas, Texas. Family safe from the tornado, but he's not in his spot. Please welcome Dabby Cab back to the telecast. Dabby Cab, my friend. Astros, Mariners. By the way, TJ saying, anyone know the live over? Yes, I do. The live over is at 6.5, juice to the under, and we have out stealing. Why bother? Montas is getting touched up. I mean, who's making that call? Why didn't he go in with his left hand? Do we want to be sneaky? Oh, wow, he might be safe. Did he come off the bag? Did he come off the bag? I think he's...
That's good. Dabby, I know you saw that subtle. He gave like a quick prayer right there, and that was more of a prayer for his mindset to keep him like sane. But instead, now it was a prayer to keep him safe, and now his prayers can come through.
He's safe.
I was about to say, now he's like, what a great decision to steal there.
I don't understand why anybody would don't you guys look at what Montas is doing second and third time through the lineup? I mean, don't give him anything. Okay, Wine Time says he likes the Astros here. We have Justin Verlander versus Jorge Kirby. Kirby's been terrible in 2 straight starts. Terrible. So in his last 2 starts, both on the road, which is key, 12 innings, 15 hits, 10 earned runs, 4 homers, 6 Ks, 1 walk. Then you bring him at home. At home, 34 strikeouts over 30 and a third with just 3 walks. 2.97 ERA, 198 opponent's batting average, and 1 jack. I feel like this is a bounce back spot for him. And I don't know exactly what we'll get from Verlander. He's been a little better on the road than he's been at home, but he's been pretty consistent. He's coming off a 6-3 win at the A's. Do the Mariners instill fear into opposing pitchers? No, they're just like the A's, 225, 66 versus righties. Astros versus righties, 263, 745 OPS. Ron Crawford says final dog spot, Houston Astros. Good luck to everyone. I'm back to work. We love you, Ron Crawford, my friend. We love you. And he's safe. Still.
That's baseball IQ, baby. He's got it. He's got it.
That was a great slide.
And it was Mason Wynn too. So that guy's like 21 years old. Just fucking, he was stealing no matter. He doesn't give a fuck.
I was, yeah. Well, no. I mean, look.
That was a roller coaster of emotions we just saw.
Yeah, we did.
That was
we
fun.
did. So Kirby's been so good at home, and he's coming off 2 horrible starts. The Astros are hitting. Both bullpens have been good. The Astros bullpen's been so good. Remember how bad they were to start the year? Now 3.75 ERA, 1.28 WHIP. Now only converted 9 of 19. TJ says Gilbert loves pitching at home. 3rd straight year of it. Seattle under or pass.
And we'll
Let's
assume he means Kirby there.
Yes. What did I say?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
Gilbert,
he
sorry.
said Gilbert, but yeah, he means
Yeah,
Kirby. No,
or
we got you,
Kirby.
TJ. Don't worry.
This total has moved to 7, and it opened at 7. It opened at 7 at Pinnacle at 6:15 p.m. minus 113 to the over. It got to 7.5 for a little bit this morning. Right back at 7. So we've had 3 cents of movement to the over. Just 3 cents of movement to the over. Let's get to the money line here for this one before we hear best bet number 3 from Dabby Cab. We have Kirby at minus 105. He opened up at minus 112. So here there's been 7 cents of movement towards the Astros, who've gone from plus 104 to minus 103. And we'll get into the cash flow and the weather. So it's 52 Fahrenheit, 6.8 miles per hour in. Daby Cab has alerted me to this, that they're leaving the roof open even when it opens at 52 Fahrenheit. So we can expect the roof to be open despite it being cool. And cash flow wise, 26% of tickets and 72% of cash on the Houston Astros and Verlander. So a lot of love there, line moving in their direction. And we've heard it's a dog spot for Ron Crawford. And when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 91% of tickets and 93% cash on the over. Wow. Take it away for us here. Dabby Cab, best bet number 3 for you. Astros, Mariners.
Okay, I'm going to sound like an asshole if I'm completely wrong here, but somebody in the chat, or Jose, correct me. The Mariners stadium, even when the roof is closed, is technically still open to the weather, right? Like the roof just covers, but the stadium's still open, right?
In what, Seattle?
Uh-huh.
Oh no, I go to games there all the time. I mean, when they put the roof up, it covers everything.
It's completely domed over?
When they close the roof, yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know why I thought otherwise. All right. Yeah, but you were right. Last time they didn't close it, and it was like, maybe it was a little warmer than 50. It seems like 50 was low, but they didn't close it that last time. Either way, there's a lot to unpack here. Talk about these 2 pitchers here. Verlander, Jose's been saying it, that he's looking to fade Verlander. He thinks he's getting late in his career. I've said I think he's still got enough HGH in him to go out gracefully. But he got lit up, last start. But on 4 of his 5 starts away from home here, he's 3-1 with a 3.1 ERA. And really what you want to look into here is these current Mariners. They have 151 at-bats against him. They're only 37 for 151 at-bats. They do have 7 doubles and 2 triples, but just not very good numbers there for the team across the board. And Verlander's seen this team a bunch. You just look at the last 2 seasons alone. He's 6-1 in 7 starts against the Mariners. He only gave up 12 earned runs and 50 and 1/3 innings pitched throughout that whole time. So he's got familiarity here with the team that he's just absolutely dominated over the last 2 seasons. So I think this is a good spot for Verlander to get right, after struggling a little bit last start. Same thing for Kirby, and you touched on how much more comfortable Kirby is at home than he is away. And then you look at the Astros. He's pitched against the Astros or started against the Astros 4 times. He's never given up more than 2 earned runs, and that was in his first start against them back in 2022. Since then, he's given up 1, 0, and 1. He had a start earlier this season. He went 6 innings, only gave up 4 hits and 1 earned run here. So yeah, bodes towards the under. I'd say it's almost a wash on the pitching matchup. I think just because of the amount of at-bats that the Mariners have against Verlander, I'd give it to Verlander, give him the edge. But one thing I want to touch on, this game is important. We're middle of the season. This game matters for the Astros, and I think they need to win. After dropping the first 2, I think the Astros need to win this baseball game. I think Verlander's the guy that they want on the mound when they need to win a game. I took the Astros team total over 3.5 here. I know some people aren't going to love that bet, but you know what? I think they need to win, and I think Kirby's vulnerable, even coming back home after his last 2 starts. And this is the number 1 batting average in baseball with the Astros, okay? This team can hit, even with their struggles. So that's where I'm at right here. It's
what was the
money
juice?
Also, plus 101.
Plus 101. And Verlander, you're thinking of Verlander start against the Brewers 2-back. He had a great start last out.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
No worries. All good. Just important here. So Jeffrey Moore says pitching matchup is a wash. That's true. I trust the Astros bats start waking up here more so than the Mariners. And Mikey Money says, keep an eye on this line. I agree with Cab, but home faves with a 7 are almost undefeated this season. Jose Bouquett, Astros, Mariners at T-Mobile.
Yeah, Dabby's right. I have been fading Justin Verlander, but today is not the day. I am going to move on Astros full game money line. Daby Cab touched on it. Here's Justin Verlander's last few starts against the Seattle Mariners, and he's given up 1 earned run in all of these. But look the results: 5-1 win, 11-1 win, 3-1 win, 4-1 win, 1-6 loss, 7-2 win, 4-0 win, 8-2 win, 2-1 win, 3-1 win. Last 10 games, 1 loss in the last 10 games. That's insanity. And he's pitched well in all of those, obviously. Now, again, you could tell me it's a different pitcher because it's been a long time, sure. But the last 10, domination. Kirby has pitched well against these Astros before. 1 earned run, no earned runs, 1 earned runs. And in his first career start against them, it does not really matter to me. So his last 3 have just been great. I agree with everyone betting the unders in these games. But I think the Astros do come out on top. And this is one of those games that will really tell me a lot about the Astros. You have to win this game. You cannot get swept by the Mariners.
Can one of you give me the money on the total on this one more time?
Sure, I'll do it real quick, Jimmy.
Cool.
Total on this one, 91% of the bets, 93% of the money on the over in this game. And that's been like that for a lot of, and Troy knows the average amount. It's like 70% of the bets and money have been on the overs this whole month. So that kind of makes sense to me, but this is one of the more under games of the day, and I agree wholeheartedly with everyone betting it. I'm just not confident enough to double up here, but yeah, I just think it's crazy.
What is the rest situation for the bullpens in this one?
Sue, that's a great question, Jimmy. Let's go scroll up to the Astros. Ryan Presley and Brian Abreu threw yesterday. Presley is going to be unavailable. He threw 31. Abreu threw 13 yesterday. He threw 14 on Sunday and then got a day off on Monday, so maybe he won't be available today, but we'll still see Josh Hader. He'll throw today, and Rafael Montero threw 27 on Monday, so we'll see what we get. But Hader will lock down the 9th inning, and I expect Verlander to shove, so I think we'll get 7-6 of Verlander, and then let's hope to God that Seth Martinez, Parker Mashinsky, Taylor Scott can piece it together, and I hope we do get Brian Abreu, and I think we would get Brian Abreu in a tight game.
I'm interested in unders in this one. I think this is a playoff type feel. I would prefer not to double up. I can't.
That's why I'm not on the under as well, Jimmy, just because I prefer not to double up. So I agree wholeheartedly with you.
I agree with the public on this one. If I was going to take an under, I'd take it full game because first 5, I've said it all year long, 3.5 runs is not enough runs for 2 pitchers to go through 5 innings each.
Londo, I'm not confident in the Oilers. I don't know if you...
He's confident in the Florida Panthers.
Very confident in the Panthers. I wouldn't bet I wouldn't bet the Oilers minus 135. I don't think it's the right number with the way the Stars handled the Oilers' best punch. I think this should be minus 120. And the only reason why I have action on the Oilers was I wanted more action on the Panthers. So I parlayed the Panthers with the Oilers.
Jimmy, if the Stars find a way to win this series, and hopefully the Mavericks can, I know obviously you probably can't make it, but anyone in the area, we got to get together. We got to get to the stadium. I think we should get some content. Jose, I was telling him, we got to get there and interview people coming in and out of American Airlines. Man, I think that would be a great environment.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love that. That'd be dope, man. That'd be dope. BJ passing. I think I trust. I've got to decide. I do not want to double up. So it's either going to be a first half under or a full game under. I do not want to be sitting here. This is all my own issues. But if I've had a great day, I don't want to be sitting with a double up on the under at the end of the game. And if I've had a bad day, I'm so happy I have the double up late. That never works And then, oh, thank God, I've got the double up to save me. So, and Jeffrey Moore says he's going to bring his hoodlum ass. Respect.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm going to move on out of the first half under, the full game under. I really expect Kirby to bounce back. I've just got to decide what is the best risk reward here. And also, we may be late on that live over, by the way.
Oh, okay, the over. I thought you were about to talk about our first 5 under here, and I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
Yeah, that's
with
what I was
it.
talking about. Like, because we were looking to see when to go live over, and
I wish I had more of an opportunity to live bet baseball. I know it's not going to get as big of a draw as like, going live for an NFL game or a playoff game or something like that. But Jimmy, I should be paying more attention to this. When we're here on these shows and games start, I have a lot of success live betting baseball. It's my favorite way to bet it, if I'm being honest.
Well, we are going to be reformatting our live shows. So we got Belmont Stakes, not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Myself.
And then we're going to be introducing some live baseball betting shows throughout the summer. So they are coming. They are coming here. Okay, well that is all action here. So let's review Dabby Cab's action here on the show. Team totals. He's on the Astros team total over 3.5 at plus 101. He is on the. Let's move over here. He's on the Padres team total over 4 at even money, and his card gets started here with Corey Seager over 1.5 bases at minus 120. So there you go. Dabra Cadabra. He will be with us again tomorrow and on Friday with Best Bets. And, of course, the star of Medicate Mondays every Monday at 11 a.m. right here on Pub Sports Radio. Daby Cab, my friend, and please support him on X. Just a completely selfless capper trying to looking at the greater good in our community. So please support our guy, Daby Cab, putting out all his action, asking nothing for nothing in return. That's at Daby Cab. Any last words, Daby Cab, for the capper supporting the show?
Oh, man, you just said it. I do this because I love capping with you guys. I'm not ever going to sell anything. It's all up there for you guys. So just go to the X. If you have an account and I don't follow you, reach out and let me know because I want to make sure I follow all you guys. I just might not see it.
I guess you just saw what happened, Jose.
Yes, that's.
See, I thought I was muted.
No, you're good. No, I just wanted to throw myself off my balcony. It's okay.
God damn.
Well, on that note,
I love baseball.
On that note, guys, I love baseball as well. I'll be back here tomorrow. Jimmy, Jose, I love doing this with you guys. Let's get some money. Shout out to everyone in the chat.
Respect, my man, Dabra Cadabra in the house. All right, let's review all.
John Chow asked a great question. Dabby, I don't know if you're gone. What was Dabby's almost bet?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so Dabby, let us know in the chat or however you want us to let us know. Let us know.
You got to add the L. You got to add the L to the waffle.
Yeah. No, I already it's already done.
Let's see it. Let's get it.
Already done. 19-3. 19-3. But again, we've talked about the best angle in sports betting. Fucking Jared Jones, you give me that hope, you son of a bitch. You give me that hope. I don't check the score the whole time. We get to the 5th inning. We need 2 more outs. And I don't know if you saw right before fucking Joey Slapdick ground ball to second base. He's running over to make a tag. Fucking dude just runs his ass over. The ball comes out. We don't get a fucking out there because he's a fucking idiot. God fucking damn it. That pissed me off.
Okay, I will message him. Now, he does not like the waffle. So he may just say,
Well, I don't like losing bets. And when Dabby bet that fucking Braves team total over, I knew we were fucked because if it was a waffle, we would have cashed. Damn it, Dabby. Thank you, Dabby.
That's so funny, Mike. I can just hear the way I can hear you saying that. Okay, let's review all action here. And we have the Razor Sharp picks, Dallas Oilers first period over 1.5 for Razor. And, maybe this is a put safe play, but look, I'm interested in the Oilers in game 5 in Dallas. I'm quite interested. These teams we're watching, Dallas, Florida, and the Rangers too. It is, and I've got the waffle. I've got the waffle for you guys. It's sent in. He's not pleased sending it to me.
Okay, good. Thank God. I was about to text him as well.
No, don't worry. I got it. these teams are all business on the road. And if you've heard the Panthers talk about what it's like to play at Madison Square Garden, look, these guys are playing at Amarant Arena. I don't even know where that is. Sunrise, Florida. I don't even know where that is.
I've driven by it. It's not anywhere close to Miami. It's fucking 45 minutes away.
If you look at the back of the arena, it's just like grasslands.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So I have no problem backing. No, look, if this is a game 7, you want the home team. But right now, I have no problem expecting business from these road teams in the playoffs. And if I move on the Oilers, I'll move on it live, down a goal. But I've got the plus 179 on the Panthers Oilers. That's fine. What I really, really, really like is the Florida Panthers to go into Madison Square Garden and beat the Rangers.
Sorry, TJ.
Now, a lot of you guys believe in the character of the Rangers, and so do I. This is no slight on the Rangers. They're just beat up. And when your first defensive pair is beat up, even though Fox has played great through it, and the Panthers smell blood. This team wants to Bennett and Kachuk. This team's healthy, you know. And there's TJ in the house. Says, take care, guys. He'll jump on, share some action tomorrow. We love that. And he says, he says, fuck your Ranger hate. But he says Florida's the right side. Look, I'm as confident as I could be. Now, that doesn't mean I'm opening up anything because I've got the 5-1 on the conference and 10-1 on the cup. That's all very important. John Chow. Okay, we'll get there. So I'm very confident in Panthers tomorrow. If you guys wanted to add something connected to the Panthers as well tomorrow to give you a bigger plus money, I get that. And so there we go. Now, Topset says Panthers just look better than everyone, and I know nothing. The Stars Panthers would be a really fun series. If the Oilers Panthers would be fun just because I have both, and I don't think the Oilers match up well. I don't think anybody does. TJ says, "Oh damn, I need to stick around for the WNBA breakdown." Let's review all action in MLB. Jose's on the. Oh, okay. Let's not talk about that one. We have total over 4.5 for Jose. They're up 1-0. And what just happened? 1-0. Okay, no. They have a runner on first with no out. There.
Let's just skip over this first play here.
And I'm on first 5 full game for the Cards. So let's get Jose home, which will take me home. And then we have Seager over 1.5 bases for Dabby Cab. I'm on the Diamondbacks money line plus 121. Jose's on the under 9 at minus 115, which I kind of like, but it's based solely on market. I'm interested in the Giants. I don't know if I get there. I did move on the Mets first 5. We saw it moving drastically in other spots. What is it doing here? So it was minus 105. I kept telling you it's still minus 105. It's still minus 105. With the account loaded up. And now the Mets first 5 is minus 110. So it's only moved 5
minus 115.
Wow.
She went back a little bit.
Cabs on the Padres team total over 4. I want the under 7 in this one. I want the under 7 in that one. You tripled up on the Diamondbacks. I love that, Elio. Then the under 7.5 in Boston, Baltimore, I'm interested in. I think the Rays first 5 minus a half is too expensive. I've got under question marks for Washington, Atlanta, the Mackenzie Gore, Spencer Schwellenbach. I didn't look up how to pronounce that either. I might be butchering it.
No, you're good. That's perfect.
I didn't. Usually I look it up. I guess
I didn't look it up either, but it's perfect.
I was very comfortable with that name for some reason.
Come on, Jimmy. It's German and white. We know.
All right. The first 5 under 4 in Royals Twins is something I want. And TJ says the under in the second Pittsburgh-Detroit game is getting even better with the way this game is going. No key relievers will be used.
I'd agree with that, but it's one of those things where I've gotten hit by my spouse once in that game. I don't want to go back to the well and get hit again.
And your spouse doesn't mess around.
A lot of abuse references by me. I didn't need to talk to someone, I guess. Fuck.
She gets physical.
Yeah,
Blue
how
Jays,
good
White
does.
Sox, no action. Guardians, Rockies, no action. And I'm going to go over all the action from our colleagues in the chat, but the spreadsheet dog play today is these Colorado Rockies. And then the unders in that Astros Mariners game to close up shop. Let's go over the action from our cappers in the chat because there's some really interesting stuff here. Morgan Spooner, Royals money line, Dodgers -1, and a Tigers Pirates under 7.5 in game 2. He's already on it. Stacks play today. JD Martinez over 1.5 bases plus 118. Gerald Jones, best bets Texas Arizona under 9. Oh wait, no, that's you, right? Yes. Joey Marinaccio, Yankees -1. Ron Crawford is spreadsheet play today is the Rockies. Pig Milk play today, the Cards. Pig Milk play today, by the way, 24-19 plus 6.74 units. Smooth Balls play today. Skeen, 7 strikeouts. Darvish, 7 strikeouts at plus 256. Gate Pass Key in the house. Love seeing that. Wine Time Sports, 2-unit plays. Cleveland, Colorado over 10.5. And NHL best bet from BJ's the Oilers, 2-0 Cards. I'm that Heat 40 minutes behind. Lecheria, my friend. Bo Jackson said that he left the girl who tried to beat him.
And then TJ asked for her number, and I was immediately interested as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Again, I'll be interested, and then I'll progressively get more interested, and then at some point, that interest will all disappear.
No interest whatsoever.
None.
But then you might eat a sandwich.
Yeah, maybe have a smoke after too.
Come back and you might find yourself interested again. Top Set's best bet is the Diamondbacks, and another best bet from BJ is Yankees -1.5 for 5 units. So, and the ribeye play of the day from our Mikey Money. Aussie Albies plus 185 for the ribeye play of the day. Plus 7.2 units is ribeye. I love it. Thank you, Mikey. Jose, how is your WNBA action going?
WNBA action. That's a great question, Jimmy. We are 4-3 up 0.75 units, so I can't complain. We took a loss last night on the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese, you bum. But Jimmy, I have a gambling love in this league, and it's called the Minnesota Lynx. Minnesota Lynx tonight. It opened up at 6 for the Vegas of Aces. It's now down to 4. Go ahead and join in on the Lynx. Lynx get it done today. They're a scrappy underdog team facing the big bad Aces. They're at home, I believe.
No comment?
I know you leave you speechless during this. I know I leave you speechless. The analysis is so fucking good. He's just like, what can I say?
It's time. It's time. It's time. The waffle play of the day is the San Diego Padres first 5 -0.5.
Of course, you Darvish. Of course.
-0.5. Thank you guys so much. It's so great to be back in action. I feel inspired working with you guys. Needed a little bit of a break from baseball and from the Garcia project, which haven't taken a break. Even I have family members who are like, just stop. Why don't you just stop?
Just quit it. It was the Aces saturated. Suck my nuts.
All you guys, thank you. John Chow, saturated. Voodoo Ranger.
Back to back, too, saturated. Now, come on, Voodoo. Let's go. Joy, you missed it. You've missed some good WNBA breakdowns with Billy and I.
Oh, yeah, from the back. Why is he not saying that anymore? Maybe it's happened. John Chow, Gate Pass Key. It's so great to see you back in action with us, my man. Bo Jackson, TJ, Mikey Money, Johnny K, JP Taylor, and Mikey Money, 6 p.m. tonight. Last call. JP Taylor, UFC play Kopolov versus Almeida. No distance at -156. Benjamin Mills. All you guys, thank you. Wine Time Sports. I'm that Heat. Johnny K, Jeffrey Moore, Slow Jams, Arsenault, Steve G, Kelly McInnes. Thank you guys. Nice. Great having you rolling with us. Also, Uncle Beavis, Londo, Top Set, Morgan Spooner. All you guys, thank you. That's our show for today. We attack tomorrow. We have horse races going on as well. Horse races for $50. And, I can't stress enough how important it is. In February, when I was in my struggles, it didn't get to this level. That's how fast I'm back in, like, almost hemorrhaging everything in my life. And it really is just me believing in this angle that has cost me a lot of money. And it's almost over, and I can't wait till it's over. I just can't wait, but I can't stop. I can't. So, Jose, can you please bless our action, my friend, and send us into the future?
Yeah, appreciate you, Jimmy, as always. It's nice to have my father return. Pete's shows with Pete are always interesting. I don't know about you, Jimmy. I told this to Pete. I find Pete to be the most difficult capper to try to decipher whether I want to tail or fade Pete. And I told him this. He had a big laugh out of it. And shout out to Pete. I don't know how he did yesterday, but it was a great show as always. AOD, Justin, GH, Clark, Danny, all you guys saturated, even you saturated. It's nice to see you as well. TJ, Dabby, appreciate all you guys that watch the program day in and day out. Follow us on Twitter to get all the picks. We'll be back here yet again tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. God damn it, don't you love Thursdays and Fridays, because the horses will be running. Till then, leche, a los bookmakers.